I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum. Oh, shit.
Y'all ready to start this hoe ass shit?
Oh fuck
yeah! Hoe ass shit.
Hoe ass shit in the motherfucking house!
TalkRadar 114 brought to you by R-Rod.
I'm glad we got that. Glad we kicked that off with the.
I really appreciate our sponsors.
No, that is very, very benign of them.
Let me tell you. Should I tell you about them now or
I
in a
think
minute?
the word is naive.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we should get before we start whoring stuff. We should introduce ourselves. I'm Chris Antista.
I'm Michael Raparez.
I'm Brett Elston.
And our very special guest this week is
this is Michael Easton, aka 435 on the forums.
Woo! And an old pal of Michael's, right?
Yeah.
Indeed.
From college.
From
Yes.
college?
Yes.
Yes, it's been
Ages ago.
I asked him, has it been over a decade?
What, since we've seen each other?
Since you've
Since we've known each other?
Yes.
13 years.
Yeah, about that. Since,
that, yes.
what, 97?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since 97?
Is that
Yes.
back when you were CompuPars?
CompuPars. No. I prefer Prodige-Pars.
Prodige-Pars, okay.
Or Raparez Online.
Wow.
Or the Riot Nerd.
Yeah, let's set about that.
How did you two meet? I have to know.
We were in the same class.
Which class?
Romanticism, modernism, and after.
Jesus
God,
Christ.
who cares about that?
Exactly.
Jesus Christ, I'm done.
That's all I needed to know about that class is who cares about a bunch of fucking 16th century poets in fainting blouses.
Yeah, it was.
That whole ass shit.
Yeah, it was that. 16 credits worth of one class on art history, and I wanted to bore my brain out of my skull.
Today we're going to sit in a dark room and listen to Mozart's The Magic Flute. It will be fantastic.
Sounds disgusting, but that is my favorite Smurf movie. Oh my god, I don't want to have that argument again.
Yes.
We should say the TalkRadar 114 is brought to you, of course, by ArcRise Fantasia. From the developers who created the highly lauded Luminous Arc comes the next epic role-playing game exclusively for the Nintendo Wii. It combines high-quality 3D graphics and modern gameplay to push the envelope of the Wii's capabilities. Classic Japanese high fantasy role-playing action involving airships, dragons, and a huge cast of characters. Brett, tell me about the music.
Oh, for the third week in a row, the music is done by Yasunori Mitsuda, who's a wonderful composer. You'll know him best as Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross, Xenogears, Xenosaga, all the JRPG greats.
There you go.
Well, bam. And you'll also find 16:9 widescreen support and progressive scan, over 20 hours of gameplay, ArcRise Fantasia, exclusively for the Nintendo Wii.
I love when progressive scan can be old.
Yeah. Yeah,
I bought 8 copies.
You said that, yeah. This is our last week of ArcRise Fantasia.
Oh, good.
I call it Synergy.
Yeah.
Synergy, because we have one confirmed bought copy because of this podcast.
Really?
I do hope you're listening. Yes, it's fantastic.
Excellent. I'm sure that was money well spent.
Mm-hmm. And
on both sides.
Do we want to jump into our weekly feature, the top 7?
We should.
All right, here it is. Feature presentation. Trying this music again. Yeah.
P-U-R-T-L-E power in there?
No, that's a remix of the Walt Disney 1980, late 80s, early 90s VHS coming attractions.
Wow, really?
Now. Yeah.
I remember.
I really wanted to reveal that later, Elston. But what is our top 7 this week at GameTrader.com?
Well, I'm trying to scroll through our site and find it, but I believe it was the top 7 fastest games of all time.
Fastest games of all time.
Written by Justin Towell in our UK office.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I really like this one, but I guess I'm the only one who's like,
You are the racist.
Yeah, I'm the one who likes the racing games. But did everybody look over this list?
I did.
Did you see anything that you thought was missing?
If I saw it, then it wasn't missing, Chris.
What?
I was busy driving. I couldn't see it.
See, that's more legitimate than slowing the thing down for a grammar.
Right.
A grammar.
But it was so
Is there
funny.
anything else you would have added to the list, Elston? Were it a top 8 or a top 10?
No.
No. Okay.
Nothing comes to mind. It's strange. It's funny that there were no
see.
Sonic games in a game that's supposed to be the fastest.
There's Sonic Unleashed.
Oh, there is.
Oh, man.
That doesn't.
And I
even-
ruined the
Spoiler.
surprise.
You're all about spoilers this
That
week.
doesn't even count.
Oh, man.
That's like half a game.
But apparently the half that is a Sonic game is very
Right.
fast.
It is. But let's
Yes.
before we get ahead of track, number 7, Wipeout. Lovely Wipeout.
Yeah, Wipeout
Wipeout
H-
HD specifically.
For PS3, I'm guessing. I actually never played this
History. It's
one.
fantastic. You should completely get it. It's free with I think a PlayStation Plus subscription,
Oh, really?
as well as Future Zone Core hosted by Veronica Belmont.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
remember when
pretty
Wipeout...
fantastic.
I'm a whoring machine today. Where did we go?
We kind of played the shit out of this in college, as I
Oh yes,
remember.
we did.
Yeah.
You are
Seriously, it was just like this was one of the, being that this was one of the first PlayStation 1 games that we,
Yep.
it was constantly just playing it all the time.
Yeah, it actually led to. I think our love was so strong for it that we actually ended up playing Roll Cage.
Oh, my God.
I think we're the
Roll Cage
only
was great.
ones.
Oh dear God!
I
Yes,
love Roll Cage.
I'm pretty sure that we did.
It was
Yes.
The
fantastic.
double-sided Tonka car.
Ah, yes,
Fantastic.
it would just roll over and over and keep driving.
As much as I love, I really enjoyed the first Wipeout, but Wipeout XL, the second one,
Yeah.
was like the leap above, like beyond that,
Oh,
where
yeah.
it,
Oh,
it
yeah.
looked better. The soundtrack was like
It was like all
a
licensed
who's
at that
who of
point, yeah.
electronic music
Like
at the time.
Prodigy's new single was on.
It was
in
Prodigy,
XL.
Chemical Brothers, I think, Future Sound of London, like all kinds of stuff.
I think it was the first game to have one of the songs had a music video that was kind of focused around the game.
The Atom Bomb song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baby got Atom Bomb.
I just know that the Wipeout 3 soundtrack is in constant rotation for my on my CD player.
To this day,
Yeah.
How about
Seriously.
did anyone play Wipeout 64?
I did not. I played Wipeout on the Saturn, like
Oh.
a purist.
Oh God, damn!
Those real shoulder buttons.
I'm always amazed that was for systems other than PlayStation because it was so closely associated with
Yeah,
Sony's
it really
brand.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I didn't even know that it was.
And then
so-
as far as the PSP versions of both of those, one of the
Pure?
strongest PSP
Yeah.
launch games. That was the one I played the most of.
I mean, I got tired of HD just because it's not. Wipeout can definitely get too fucking difficult.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
incredibly difficult.
Well,
Yeah,
I still hate the complete lack of physics. When you hit the wall, you just dead stop. Like, what? I lost all my speed because I grazed the corner.
Yeah, that's the irritating thing. That trying to play HD, it's a great game, but it's like, how did I ever get good at this?
Yeah, I know. That's what I thought. Because the drifts didn't seem to work the same way, and
No.
I thought I would be really good at this, and I was terrible.
Yeah, it's like, I don't remember stopping dead on the walls. I don't remember constantly being, having the shit knocked out of me by every other racer on the track.
But that's the great thing with that, as far as the physics go. If you get hit by somebody else, you take all their momentum.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
And that still happens. I love that Wipeout HD level. I think, was it in one of our top 7s, the colorful one that just keeps changing color?
Oh, there's the speed. Well, I don't know if it's the same one, but there's also that speed tunnel where it's just you and the track keeps accelerating as you
Yeah.
spin. That might be the one that. he
No,
mentions
I don't
in
think
here.
it's that one.
But it's like every lap it gets faster and more difficult to hit these things, and the level keeps changing colors as you do it. Oh yeah, it was in the prettiest games of 2008.
Yes, it's a very, very pretty experience. It's very early on in the game.
Yeah, well, it's like
Shit,
a
if they're still offering that for a PlayStation Plus subscription, what the fuck ever? What is it, $50 a year?
yeah, I don't know.
What a free game?
Yeah,
Bye,
no,
bye,
it's
Lizzie.
a good game. There goes Lizzie. Number 6.
Wait, I got this because
Oh.
I'll play this Nintendo 64 commercial for Wipeout in the break, which is only weird because Wipeout is known for what kind of music?
Electric.
And in the commercial for the Nintendo 64, Wipeout. It literally says something along the lines. It'll make you shit your pants. But this
God.
Was the 90s.
This is a very weird commercial for Japan. This is Japan's Wipeout commercial.
Don't you think this is just way beyond those Japanese?
Oh, it'll certainly challenge those clever little fellas.
All right.
Wipeout, just arrived
Right.
from UK.
Wipeout just arrived from UK.
Okay.
They were antagonizing the Japanese. Oh, they are a clever bunch.
Oh, racism!
You're so randy with your racism to the Japanese.
Well, it was them being xenophobic to themselves.
But that was also a marketing move.
Yeah.
So it's sort of do they have an adversarial relationship with the British?
Well, think about it.
well, that was also back when they
Oh
were
yeah,
like,
back during the British-Japan War. which most people are
if you
too
remember
young to
'97, I remember that
Yeah,
very well.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it's that that was back before the game development had really shifted from Japan to
Oh yeah,
West.
so I guess you could
So
say
like
this
it was
this is
still
exotic.
when the PlayStation when the PlayStation was new and Wipeout was new. It was still I don't know, can a UK developed or a US developed game be any good because only Japanese programmers know how to make good games.
And it brought with it like the soundtrack, which I don't
Yeah.
think that music was huge in Japan. Europe
Maybe.
was kind of leading.
Yeah,
well,
Europe was
kind of
leading
the charge.
that for sure.
All right, we talked enough about number 6.
Well, I hope someone has something to say about.
I
Number 6.
don't.
I do, just because I read it.
All right, F1.
It looks
So,
awesome.
all right.
What? Do you not want me to do this? Because we will go to number 5.
Go.
All right, I'm gonna.
I'm encouraging you.
Do it.
Okay.
They're still on F1. Shouldn't they be
This
like?
is known to Amiga players as Vroom Multiplay. And I believe that deserves a Zoom sound. This is what. Who wrote this? Is this Justin?
Justin Talia.
Justin, you played in turbo mode, and I thought this was fascinating. It was like playing one half of a split-screen two-player mode, because the two-player mode had lesser visuals, so it could process two players faster.
Right.
So it could process. So it could. The turbo mode let you play the game 30% faster, and it does look for an ancient arcade port incredibly fast. Like, I thought it was a fantastic entry, and I love the game. F1.
Shouldn't they be up to like F10 by now?
No, it stands for Formula One. I don't know
know
what it stands for, actually.
Well, F0.
You wouldn't believe the names I went. What does F-Zero stand for?
Same thing. It's a play on F1.
Wow, I never really looked at that.
Really?
No. If I had a mind blown.
Oh, well, you're right. The turbo mode's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
Watching it now.
I mean, what year would that have been? Like early 90s? Jesus
It
Christ.
It
looks
says,
like.
in the entry it says 16-bit machine, so that puts it in the early 90s.
Yeah, go back and try and remember what fucking Virtua Racer looked like.
Oh yeah,
Racing around in a fucking cardboard box.
with octagon tires.
Yes, yes. Rotating at the speed of Sonic.
Number 5.
Everybody looks bored. Number 5.
I have even less to say.
I've always thought this game looked interesting. I don't know if this is the title that came out in America, but I know the Trackmania series in general.
Right.
I love on principle.
I remember Ubisoft talking it up at E3, but they're
It just always looks very
expanding it.
cute and interesting, and the ability to easily design your own tracks. And I like racing games.
I touched it a little bit on the PC.
What'd you think?
It was okay. I mean, there's a lot of just... It felt kind of... The one that I played felt kind of platformy for a racing game, and it was just kind of a little weird.
Yeah, because
So it wasn't quite what I was expecting out of it. So
Every time I heard the name Trackmania, I really thought it was like a music generation thing.
I see.
And I thought that for years until I finally saw the cover of a game once. It was cars. Why are there cars on it? Oh,
Trackmania.
Trackmania. Got it.
You know.
It's for composing music about cars.
And this was, I don't know if this is one that was included in the game, the one he showed in the video. It's fucking awesome to look at. It's just a forward level where you just move forward and kind of go randomly wherever the level takes you. And it's this giant maze that you go through, all these elaborate jumps and twists. And it's, I don't know, I thought it was very impressive to watch. And I'm alone in this. Number 4 is Sonic Unleashed.
Which again, I think you can speak to.
I can.
I spoiled it.
I can. Sonic Unleashed. Whatever. That would I love. God, we talked about Sonic so much in this little podcast of ours, and this was the thing we complained about because they showed us Sonic Unleashed several hundred times.
Yeah.
And never once mentioned
That fucking werehog.
that there would be a stretchy-armed werehog. Like, why a werehog if he has stretchy arms? Couldn't he be like an Indian?
Yeah,
Like, put a dot on his head or something.
like nothing makes.
Dalzim.
Yeah, with a bunch of bracelets.
Yeah,
Boom.
make it Dalzim Sonic, and then it's fan service.
Salzine.
It's a bold new crossover.
Just
Yeah,
the
I
idea
like
of those things.
Sonic versus Street Fighter at the Olympic
Yoga.
Games. Come on.
Like just which one of those things came first? Well, he needs a mode where he has stretchy limbs. I think he has a mode where he needs to be a werewolf. May I suggest we combine these two? Sir, you have made you have earned your place today.
What do old school game
You get a
fans like?
promotion.
Bionic Commando.
You have
Stretchy
been
arms it
promoted.
is.
How would
Stretchy-
you feel about ruining Golden Axe? Thank you, sir. Thank you.
They did. They put a red-haired girl on the cover and just shit it down the toilet.
nowhere.
I am worried that they'll do that to Streets of Rage.
Oh, probably
I figure
will.
they'd
And
move-
if they do that, I'm going to stab someone.
but we always have the old ones, but I have no idea why Streets of Rage has never been addressed.
Yeah, it's pissing me
In all
off.
of this.
Seriously,
It's on iPhone.
That's not really addressing anything.
No, you're right.
That's
Yeah,
capitalizing on a fad.
Yeah.
I want more Streets of Rage.
But tell me about the 2D levels in Sonic.
Oh, the 2D levels are sort of fantastic. Like, they added in the bumpers, the shoulder buttons.
Like to drift or something?
Not to drift, but to, like, it is very fast, so you could easily shunt left or right. Instead of, like, steering when Sonic's moving very fast is always an awkward kind of proposition. But if you see, there's essentially 3 lanes and you're shifting.
Oh, okay.
Like, back and forth. Very, very good. I played Sonic 4.
Recently, yes.
That was pretty great.
I really want to love that game.
The only thing I didn't like about it, he's like, yeah, we were listening to fans. The fans thought he didn't speed up fast enough, so we sped him up. And I don't know. I tried to make that point in the preview that, like, well, you didn't. You just his full speed animation comes earlier. He's still slow.
Right.
But then I don't know if I'm just being the Sonic fan.
Right.
I'm being the Sonic fan. I have no idea if that's the case. 'Cause the running animation itself is fucking beautiful. Like, wow, look at that thing. It's just he's not moving very fast considering all the blurs that are happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, the rest of it, I have no idea why people are so pissed. The green eyes.
Yeah, I can't believe people are like. He had green eyes in Sonic Adventure, which you all love so goddamn much.
This is a sacrilege. Why? What could you do with? He's been whored out in so many ways.
Yeah, you're getting a 2D game that's in HD and it looks fantastic, and you're gonna bitch about the green eyes.
The green eyes, and I thought that was just sort of fantastic. That Sega should have been commended for it, and they're not.
They're just envious.
Well, there was somebody who wrote an article that Sonic fans are unpleasable, and it was this wonderful little thesis of shit that I didn't know about. Like, if you go to our forums, like, there's people who fucking love Sonic Adventure 2.
Yeah.
That's their game. That's where they got into Sonic. They love writers.
Really?
There's some people who love the comics, and there's characters in the comics that they love. So there's like 5 different kinds of Sonic fans.
They've split that fan base so many ways.
Somebody's writing all those fan fictions.
They've got
this. I didn't
the 2D fans, the 3D fans, the
oh,
extended
God.
universe fans, the comic fans, the comic sans.
So
That's a shit joke.
I hate that font.
Love that.
Comic Sans fans are unpleasable.
This year, like around the same time, there's Sonic 4 for people who love the Genesis version.
Yeah.
For people who love the portable ones, there's Sonic Colors DS, and for people who love the 3D ones, there's Sonic Colors, which looks pretty fucking cool.
It looks not garbage.
And there's also, like, for if you like Riders or if you're a casual user, you have free Riders.
Which
I believe a video of me making an ass out of myself.
As someone who reviewed Sonic Riders, I already don't like that game.
It wasn't great.
Better or worse than Sonic Heroes?
I never played Sonic Heroes, but I'm going to go that it was worse.
It wasn't great. Well, I wanted. Fuck, I wish. I probably won't. Get in
maybe
trouble
because I had to
for
review
saying
it on 3 different platforms. That's probably.
But it was the first time I saw the Kinect thing in debug mode.
Oh, yeah.
And it was fucking mind-blowing what that thing does. It scans every single part of your body, and then, like, the guy was...
Puts it on TV screen for
No,
you?
he was optimizing the camera. What it does, it assigns tiny... Like, it turns the entire front of your body into a polygons, and he's moving around the camera, so I thought it looked like there is a camera panning around me and the person on camera. And realistically, it just assigned... I want to get them on record showing me this video. He showed me pictures. It also assigns where your crotch, limb, sneeze, like, so it can adjust that dynamically, huh?
Pseudo mocap?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, what's a problem with working there? He's like, oh, babies. Like, babies don't register at all. And he was showing me these pictures of, like, babies trying to register on Kinect, and they just register as, like, a severed limb.
Oh my god!
What is? I mean, they don't render into a severed limb.
What if you, like, strap the baby to each arm?
Yeah, exactly.
And just, like, wave them around.
Voltoddler.
You know why they don't register? Because babies don't have a soul yet.
Babies don't have a
They have not been tainted by capitalism, and therefore they have nothing to buy.
Yet need everything. Fuck babies.
Really.
Sonic Unleashed. Well, I did want to play... I love cheesy Sonic music, and this is the music in the YouTube video, which is a song, I think, written and sung by Sonic about going fast while being Sonic.
Finally.
Nice. Bad. Is it from Sonic?
Yep.
I love. But do you have Tails' song that he sings about having a crush on Sonic?
Really?
Basically.
All right. Next week.
About how I want to be cool. I also want to be like him.
I want him to hold me.
If I could have
I want to feel him inside me.
Damn it! Don't
pull these two tails apart.
My dream is to have them do a duet, or do those songs. Like, remember American Tail? I know I'm going back.
Yeah, 5
of Somewhere Out There, and it's the little baby, like all off key. And then there's the radio version that gets played every day on the shitty stations your mom listens to.
Yeah, and the dentist stuff.
I want those guys to do all the Sonic music and do a nice little Somewhere Out There duet with Sonic and Tails. Tails?
I think I want this as well.
Tails. And just because I didn't want to do a lot of work this week, this game is fast.
Correct.
That can't be denied. I'm just going to give myself an affair. Yeah.
Okay.
This can't be denied, but Sonic is also, as we learned in TalkRadar 50-something, the one with the Sonic banner underneath a dead Michael Jackson. And Sonic is also a friend to the slows.
Oh, yes. Oh, wow, I forgot about this.
Sonic, they're so slow.
Everyone has something special to offer. You are standing in quicksand.
Quicksand? Yikes!
Don't panic.
How did they know it? He didn't.
Move slowly and you'll be okay. Phew. Even you can learn something from a sloth.
Wow, I don't think you can call the mentally challenged sloths. I know they were avoiding saying the retarded.
just to peter it up, and it's okay. Retarded.
And that's right.
There's no other R in there.
If this goes over the public airways every week for free,
retreaded,
I can't get fired for it. Yes, that was Sonic saying, "Be nice to the mentally challenged."
Yeah.
Absolutely. What the?
Because they might save you from quicksand.
It's true. It's true. That you know what?
Again, they noticed it before Tails.
They're
did.
the first people. They're always the first people to spot cake and quicksand. It never fails. Every time.
Sonic was too busy eating chili dogs during that part of class.
Chili dogs.
Number 3 is Burnout 3 Takedown.
The least to say about this, but I did love it.
It was a fantastic. The first two, it amazed me that the first one I bought because I heard it was $20 and I heard it was a good racing game. Played it. This game's okay. I don't care. 2 came out, didn't care. But apparently they sold well enough. But then when they made 3, it was one of those sequels, like an RE4 style.
Three was fucking fantastic.
Fuck! Everyone loved Burnout 3. I just we had several house parties where it just evolved into passing the controller around, doing the stunt aftertouch, just cause as much fucking crash damage as you can. So much fun.
I love the crash breaker and aftertouch stuff.
Yes, all that
Wish
shit.
They hadn't gotten
incredible. And then the soundtrack, it had an actually good licensed soundtrack that didn't feel too intrusive. And then
that wasn't like EA's period. They had these 60 songs that went in every.
Yeah, there was every Wolf Mother for a year.
It's not their song, by the way. They don't do. Wolf Mother does not have a song called Wolf Mother.
Wolf Mother. They might as well. Look on track 6 of one of their CDs. I'm sure.
That specific track.
This is the title track, Wolf Mother. Well,
off of our album, Wolf Mother Red.
Yeah, I ended up getting into Burnout just simply. My girlfriend at the time, she was working for GameStop, and
lucky dog.
Lucky my ass.
I wish.
But she ended up winning some contest, and she got 2 free games. We didn't think much of them. We thought it's whatever, and we ended up sending one of the games, Shadow Hearts, off to some friends.
Oh, but you feel silly now.
Oh, hell yes. In fact, I kick myself every time I see anyone talking about it. But the other one was Burnout, and Burnout 2 specifically. And I'm just before we sell this off or do it, I'm going to at least try it. And I think I ended up spending probably the next 3 months playing nothing but. And then when Burnout 3 came out, I bought that for the Xbox. First off, it was for the PS2, then the Xbox.
For live.
I picked up that copy.
Play.
And I didn't have live at the time, so I just when I split from her, I ended up getting an Xbox because she had the PS2.
Oh,
so.
No.
Did you get to visit the PS2?
No.
Yes.
Well, actually, yeah. Technically, yes.
Who got custody of Jack and Dexter? Poor Jack and Dexter.
Did she use the PS2 to keep the copy of Demon's Crest that she stole from me? Because
Yes,
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yes, I think she did, yes.
I like this.
I think she still has your copies of Final Fantasy.
Yes, she did. Final Fantasy 2. Oh my god! But I'm feeling slightly heartened thinking about her trying to cram the cartridge into a PS2 disc slot.
You want to call her live right now?
No.
Just fuck with her?
I don't have her number anymore.
Let's wait till we're really drunk in the third segment and then just have this awful.
I was going to say because Mike brought a ton of beer.
The most beer.
I want to talk about it. We'll talk about it in the next segment. Because we're going to start serving this shit up.
All right.
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
And shit, I forgot what we were talking about.
No,
this is just the first game I got with Xbox. I got it like 3 months late for Xbox Live. I want to play a racing game on Xbox Live. 3 days. 2 people. 2 people. Like, that's when I first learned that Xbox Live isn't a forever thing.
Yeah.
You have to strike immediately.
It's too fleeting.
If it's not Halo.
It's not like a PC server where there's always somebody hosting it for the rest of their life.
Burnout 3. Fucking terrible. Oh, you beat the game on Super Ultra Difficult and have that rocket I can't possibly beat. Thanks. But that was the F1 car. The F1 car where, like, you say, this is too much. But you keep playing. It was so fucking fast, and it's such a fragile car on those tracks.
Can't go more than 5 seconds without it shearing in half.
Which, then it pieces itself right back together.
Exactly.
Again. Wonderful.
All I care about is crash mode, seriously.
Yeah. Crash mode.
Because,
the strength of this game led me to buy right before, as a gift to myself when I got this job and moved out here.
You earned it.
I did.
Yeah.
I really did. It was a $50 PSP game at the time, which I thought was really ridiculous. But Burnout Legends, I think, for PSP came out in 05.
I don't know if I ever played that.
It was really good.
Really?
If I point over there to across the bay, I sat over there in a house somewhere over there for weeks at a time with no friends.
That'd be Eric's house that just got broken into and ravaged?
No, I did make it out of Eric's house by that time. Well, I had it there too, but I just remember sitting in my shitty one-room apartment with the bed.
By the way, if someone's trying to sell you a bundle of 5 guitars, every PS2 and 360 game ever made, and probably the worst hair metal collection you ever did on CD, that's Eric's shit. His house got broken into. He hasn't been in the office in a couple days trying to solve that shit.
It's pretty horrible.
Call the police and then shoot the guy who's trying to sell it to you at point blank range in the face.
Yes, and we will write. You know what we'll do?
15 times with a high-powered shotgun.
We'll write you a note.
We'll write a news post about you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. You'll be a star.
Yes.
I'm going hunting. I like Eric.
That is so unfortunate.
That is
that
unfortunate.
really sucks.
But Burnout.
Sorry. Burnout. Was this EA's first Burnout? I don't remember.
It was Criterion's first, I thought.
Okay.
No, Criterion's been doing
Did
all
they
of
do
them.
Yeah, I thought they did all of them like right after they were acquired.
I'm
was it
pretty sure that all of them have been published by EA.
I thought
but
there was
could be
something
wrong.
No, I don't think
changed
the first
from 1,
two.
2 to 3. I thought
Yeah, the
something
first 2 I
shifted.
don't think were.
Maybe it was Activision
The
or
Bullfrog
something.
joint or
I
something.
don't remember.
Anyway, number 2.
Oh, that's
Number
right.
2.
Third one was EA.
Number
One
2.
of my favorite games of the last 10 years.
F-Zero GX.
F-Zero GX.
I completely forgot everything about this game. I mean, I love all the F-Zero
This
games.
game, I'm almost glad. Well, I really wish there was a new one because I would love to have a new console. And there was GP Legend on GBA the year after.
Is that also Namco?
No. This is Sega.
This is Sega?
That's why I love this game. F-Zero GX is like a dream fucking team finally coming true. It was Sega had only been out of the hardware race for 2 years at this point, and this was the first Nintendo Sega joint, man, where the impossible thing happened, and they wrote the fucking check, and Nintendo came together and made the next iteration it was Amusement Vision, who normally does Monkey Ball, and made, like, in my opinion, the best F-Zero game, one of the fastest, smoothest, coolest looking racing games of all time. No weapons, no fucking weird gimmicks like that. It's just speed.
Like 50 people on a
It's 30 cars on a track at the same time, 60 frames per second constantly, and some of the best goddamn racing music. It's so incredible.
I'll say it's diverse.
Well, no. There's the thing is
a lot of tracks.
The soundtrack has it's 2 discs, and the tracks have their own set of music, which are really good, like electronic, like fucking pulse-pounding music that's really good. And then if you go into the character profiles, F-Zero has one of the worst rosters of character designs in all of video games. They're fucking terrible. Captain Falcon,
Blood Falcon,
already looked kind of silly, and that was the point. But the CG cutscenes in F-Zero GX are rendered with such detail that when he walks in a room, he finally looks completely retarded. like just these huge muscles and skin-tight suit, and then this stupid mask and shoulder pads, and it's like him standing next to anyone else looks ridiculous.
I have two clips from the story mode.
Just give me one more chance.
Yeah.
One more chance is all you get to win this F-Zero Grand Prix, or you know the price of failure.
That's
King Croc.
That's Black Shadow or something like
Dr.
that.
Claw.
Dr. Claw. That's a cutscene with like him holding Blood Falcon or whatever his name is.
Falcon.
Yeah, and saying you better win this race or else. Like
Danger Mouse.
It doesn't make any sense at all. Danger Mouse.
That was a pretty good greenback.
Look at that. It brought everybody to their knees who had cable for the first half of the 80s.
Yay.
I didn't know that show until TNT started airing it in like 90 or 91. No, maybe it was Nickelodeon.
It was Nickelodeon.
Yeah, Danger Mouse. Anyway.
So you get for not being British. What was this?
But the other set of music is from the character profiles. Every one of them has
a theme song.
A theme song
with
that's
lyrics that tell their backstory.
And completely separate, and it's just ridiculous that they even bothered to make all this music for this game.
I had to do an article. Was it Jodie Summers?
It was Jodie Summers.
I had it wait a minute. I'm looking up all this shit. Like, Elson, how the fuck does anybody know this about her? She doesn't. There's nothing in the game that says any of this.
Yeah.
I played all of them. And he's like, it's their character profile. There's a song, and the lyrics tell the story.
Tell you about she wants to be the best.
Who her father is, and why she's racing.
I'm hoping we can end the podcast with one of these songs.
Maybe we can.
So good.
Well, you and Michael fight it out. There's a lot of good music this week.
Well, maybe we can use it in one of the breaks. One of the things. Because there's a couple I would like to sneak in here somehow. But yeah, it is just this impossibly fast game, and it gets to the point where you're playing on the expert levels where you get into this complete zone of not hitting a single thing, hitting every boost pad, and shaving 1 second off of your time, and throwing the controller up in the air, fucking yes, and running around the room. At least that's what I did alone, because there's not online. That's why there needs to be a new one, is to compare. It was always
more cutscenes.
What a scare!
Oh, this song in the background.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
What can I do with this one coin?
I like that he said space credits.
Yeah, well, that's how you know where you are.
That's how you know. I thought that was like a placeholder you put before you write an actual
space
currency.
Credits.
Falcon! Please, I beg of you, enter the bet race. Well, please, consider it an old man's last request.
What does he ask?
He's asking, it's the story mode, which is actually this is one of the hardest levels in the entire game. The story mode is notoriously difficult. This old man wants to put Captain Falcon in the race and bet his one thing on him so he can win some money, and you end up having to race.
He has to dress up as somebody.
He has to dress up as somebody else, and his name is Famicom on the list.
Oh.
But the song, I don't know if you have the rest of it.
I have. Yeah, I was going to. You should pick another song to close. This is what I had.
No, not this one. Not this one.
No.
Yeah. Start saying F-Zero. That song exists nowhere. It's not in the soundtrack. No one has ripped it. What the? Someone recorded a song to be played in the background of dialogue from these two shitty characters, and they never put it.
I need this song.
Anyway, you should move on because I will keep talking about it.
All right. That song's a ghost. It died along this very road 15 years ago.
Number one in the top 7 fastest games alive.
Number 1.
Extreme G3.
I love this choice.
I love
Extreme G.
It doesn't get
a lot of affection.
It doesn't get a lot of respect, but I played Extreme G 1 and 2 a hell of a lot.
Well, it shouldn't. It was Acclaim involved in this debacle where
I thought the first one was really good.
Yeah, no, I even love the third one, but it was just sort of like, well, we need one every 8 months now.
Yeah.
And so I was bored with it by the time the third one hit. But it was unlike Wipeout. They were physics-restrained motorcycles.
Yeah.
With loop-de-loop and like the craziest shit I'd ever really seen in racing, with the fastest feeling possible. And I'm so glad Tao picked this specific thing because I have never seen it before or since.
Yeah, it's a really cool the thing where your bike actually goes faster than the speed of sound.
Yeah.
And there's that sonic boom, and then it's completely silent. You can hear like a faint.
Yeah, you can't hear it in this. You're
racing faster.
The only reason you can hear the bike again is because he took a corner too hard and ran up against the wall.
You're driving faster than your bike makes noise.
This is right from takeoff.
So neat.
Sounds amazing.
I really, really like that effect. I miss the extreme.
Yeah, and it's weird that both this and F-Zero haven't had modern. Well, F-Zero wouldn't matter because it'd be on Wii, but like both of these things are both of those concepts are things that would really benefit from new technology to really get that across of like the speed and the visual effects you could do with a sonic boom, like the puff. Like
I think that was all part of polygons though. Polygons like that. Those salad days are over. Like making a futuristic racer doesn't have the same appeal that it used to.
No, I agree because for a while there were too many.
Yeah,
there was Kinetica and there was quantum redshift.
Like just in this thing, Wipeout, F-Zero,
yeah.
Extreme G. This is all their day.
Yeah,
and it's all kind of.
But the thing is, there haven't really been one.
It's all over.
And I just wanted F-Zero so bad. But at least back to number 2, F-Zero.
I see how it's going to be.
That game. I want you to think about 2003. How many of you knew what fucking progressive skin even was?
I did.
How many of us had a 16:9 television?
No.
None of us.
No.
2003, F-Zero GX runs 480p, 16:9, 60 frames a second. That game fucking looks and moves. It's like 3 years ahead of itself. Like I know that technology was definitely around in 03, but no one, like the mass market, was not using either of those things.
Especially when you look at Nintendo's hardware specs.
And it looks now like F-Zero GX still looks better now than most Wii games. It's fucking unbelievable how good that game is. Like I
go
really
back and
love
play
it.
more, but it's very hard.
It is difficult. It's not a forgiving game at all. But I don't want a new one until they can do. Oh my! Playing 30 people on a track like that with it loops and winds on itself, man. It's so cool.
And I never saw this bonus entry from the Gran Turismo 3, quite literally 1 billion miles an hour.
Wow.
Wow. Yes. What happens? A glitch sends you out of the track, which then the physics fuck up. The air lifts you into the sky, and it does go from like I think 700 miles per hour to 2 billion, just like that. But it's still amazing to see like the numbers extend over into like your back windshield, like your MPH. It's a great glitch, and then you crash and die.
Why would they even build it to display 2 billion miles?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's. Maybe that was their fucking red ring. That's how you knew it was broken.
It's
you had to send it back.
If anything, that the Japanese video game's known for 9999. Shouldn't it just stop there? Yeah. 2 billion.
2 billion. That's our top 7.
Hey,
that is our top 7. When we get back, we'll talk new release and
there's two things
related
this
things
week.
I sure as hell hope you're ready for. And
I know what that is.
Yeah, and wow, we got a shit ton of game deals, a lot of community feedback. I hope we have time to do all this. You guys want to go all out for the people today, right?
Yes.
Hey, 'cause I don't have a lot planned other than that.
Okay. Taking us out is one of those profile songs from F-Zero GX, which they're all like a minute long, so hopefully we can play most of it, because it's just so... Someone bothered to write and record this, and it's buried in like 4 menus. It's so great.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I played Sonic 4. Fuck you.
I'm Joel McHale from Blank Blank, and you're listening to TalkRadar.
ArcRise Fantasia is a new turn-based RPG with a beautiful anime-inspired Japanese art style. Players will jump into the shoes of Lark, a calm and composed mercenary who sets out to defend the Meridian Empire from an impending invasion of ferocious creatures. After assembling a party of friends, each with a unique set of abilities, players will embark on a perilous journey across an overworld filled with deadly enemies and treacherous dungeons. While strategically queuing up attacks, players can summon mystical creatures and work with their party members to execute massive attacks. ArcRise Fantasia features deep gameplay, top-notch production values, and an unforgettable storyline. Wii owners who have been pining for a massive fantasy epic will definitely have their patience rewarded. ArcRise Fantasia out now for the Nintendo Wii.
It's a test of endurance, reflexes. It's a test of bladder control. It's Wipeout 64, hyper-intensive anti-gravity racing with weapons. Wipeout 64, as fast as speed gets.
I'd buy that for $1.
Hey, does anybody want to listen to the rest of this motherfucking podcast?
Yeah!
TalkRadar 114 presented by ArcRise Fantasia. Woohoo! Yes, we're almost ready for, you know. you know.
We're almost ready.
I did want to talk, Michael, what are we drinking?
We're drinking beer, a lot of it.
A lot of it, but where's
can
it
you be
from?
more descriptive?
Yes, absolutely.
This is really dark and strong.
Looks like coffee.
Yeah. I'm already drunk after like half a beer.
The stuff that you're drinking it's by, well, pretty much all of us were drinking stuff from a brewery called Oscar Blues. They're based out of Colorado. The specific one that you're drinking is the 1050. It's an Imperial Stout. Michael, he's got the Old Chub, which is a Scotch ale.
Yeah, he does.
You have the Dale's Pale Ale.
Dale's Pale Ale.
And I have something else.
Delicious.
But yeah, they're basically starting they have started the canned revolution, basically trying to bring
the cans back.
Yeah, exactly. Because by canning a beer, you are able to. It stays longer than it does in glass.
Really?
Yeah, it does.
It's why Guinness didn't brew in a bottle for years.
Oh. Exactly. It's because if you have the glass, light passes through, which ages the beer further and doesn't taste quite the same. So you put it into a can. It works out.
There's always that perception that a can is a little less classy than drinking out of a bottle. But that's
kind of the thing that they're trying to do, and that's the reason why I've got glasses here, so everyone's drinking out of glasses, because that's kind of the thing that they really want you to do. It's just like, this is the container,
right?
Pour it in something else, and then everything will be fine.
So can you tell me the difference? Because I don't know this.
Yes.
And I was hoping, since you seem to know your beer terminology.
All right.
I was trying to figure out the actual difference between, and maybe some of these terms are duplications, but like a Pilsner versus a stout versus a pale ale versus a lager. I just want to know if what distinguishes one from another, other than the color. And
stuff. Well, it's a lot to do with color and a lot to do with alcohol volumes and the way that you actually brew the beer itself. I'm a budding connoisseur, so I don't really know everything therein, but it's like this. The stouts are a dark beer,
right?
And then next up is going to be the porter, and then you get into like a Scotch ale, and then you go on up. Pilsners tend to be the lightest. Pale ales.
Then whatever the fuck I'm drinking.
Yeah. That's an Imperial Stout, which is basically it's. I keep saying
Guinness from here.
I should not have promised a long cask, because this is very strong.
Yeah, I call 1050, which is this particular one. I say that it needs to be actually served in Penso bottles, because it basically just pours out like oil. And
it looks like
it has
tar.
a wonderful mouthfeel.
It looks like syrup when you pour it out.
Yeah.
By the way, now you know that. Now everybody out there knows the price of admission for appearing. Bring a dick ton of beer.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see spend.
Also, be an old friend of one of the hosts.
That
helps a lot too.
Wait,
but
who brewed this?
Oscar Blues.
Oscar Blues, we're looking for a new sponsor next week.
Just saying, audience of highly intelligent consumers ready to buy your beer.
At Oscar Blues.
Those of you who are of age in your country of origin.
Find retailers near you.
Not likely.
What's the drinking age in the UK?
Please, be of age or know a hobo. Oscar Blues.
What is the drinking age in the UK? Is it like 18?
I think it's 18.
I thought it was one of those things that's like not enforced.
It's not as frowned upon in the U.S. like a 14-year-old was drinking.
I think you can maybe legally drink, but you can't drink in public.
Yeah, you can't drink in public, and it's sort of like
it won't serve you in pubs.
Just if a 10-year, like a 16-year-old kid shows up at a bar, like get the fuck out of here.
Right. Yeah.
Not you won't be served, but like you have no business here. This is a place for adults.
Yeah.
And I thought like in France it depended on the kind of alcohol. Like there's wine you could.
Well, your bosses would know.
They would have known. They would have known. Do we have any Brits left? Jesus Christ! This is not a conversation for now. Elson, what happened to you last week when you ran into the podcast? Ruined. Let's say you ruined the podcast.
Did. Well,
last
I
week.
didn't ruin. This is a dumb story. Like this makes me sound retarded.
Why?
Okay. I've done it twice now. Look what you've done.
What?
You broke open the R
word.
the
R barrier?
Yeah. No, it's like 3 times now.
I know. Oh, retard.
I need to come up with a new R word, which is redacted.
Look at that wicked redacted kid over there.
Boing. So last week, if you listen to the end of the podcast, all of a sudden I get off the headset and we say something like, "Oh, I don't know, something about the alarms going off." So my smoke alarm kept going off in the house.
You were responsible to have your phone off while we were recording, and I did not. And
yes.
I had to be reached for you.
Yeah, and you handed the phone to me, and it was Carolyn saying, "Oh my God, the smoke alarm's going off again." So a couple weeks ago, the last 3 weeks we've had a problem with the smoke alarm. Keeps going off, and it's, of course, shriekingly loud and horrible, and there's no reason for it. There was no smoke. There's nothing.
Maybe it's filled with ants.
I checked. It's ant-free.
Do ants smoke? What the fuck?
They do if you light them on fire.
Yeah. All right.
Briefly.
Big fan of cigars.
Or teach them with tiny cigarettes. Get them hooked at an early age. Target the pupae.
Those ants were born addicted.
Hope we have a title for this podcast.
Hook the pupae.
Target the pupae.
Target the pupae.
Right after conception, target the pupae.
What is it, Joe Larva? Is there a joke in that? No? All right.
I can't see it.
Not with those 6 eyes?
Yeah, Joe
right.
6 Eye, there you go.
Johnny Doorway's here to let you in.
What are we talking about?
Talking about a smoke alarm.
Smoke alarm's going off, so then I finally, what the fuck, take it out of the wall, still can't figure out what's going off, because this thing won't stop going off. So call an electrician, he comes out, he looks at it, he's like, yeah, the wiring is all good, so this unit just must be busted. I'll replace it with a new one that just runs off of AC and not AC and battery. Seems fine. Then Wednesday, Carolyn calls at the very end of the podcast. It's going off again.
That was not the
I
alarm.
paid this guy to fix the wiring of the smoke alarm. So he comes out and fixes it. So I'm like, good, smoke alarm's fixed. And we knew it was the smoke alarm because it had happened repeatedly, and I had to stand on a ladder, a chair, and fuck with it until finally it would shut off.
Is that what it sounded like?
That, but higher pitched and worse.
Brett also lives in a submarine.
And so then now the fire alarm is taken care of. But then it goes off again that Wednesday. It's clearly going off again because I can hear it. And then after 30 minutes, Carolyn calls back. It's like, well, I don't know why, but it just turned off. And I told her, here's how you shut it off. He told me, you just pull this thing out of the back and then it goes off. Mm-hmm. And then she's like, that didn't do anything. And then now I'm like, well, look, I'm just going to take it out of the ceiling when I come home. Anyway, there. It's not connected to anything. It can't make any noise. There's no power coming to it. This thing's over.
I'm going to beat it with a broom.
I'm going to fucking cast a spell on it. Yeah. I'm going to go to the trouble of learning how to cast a spell for this.
It works.
It works.
There you go.
Totally works.
Off to hell. Then we go have dinner Monday night at a burger place. Come home the moment we open the door. It goes off again. The catch this time is there's no smoke alarm in the ceiling. I still haven't plugged it. It's a hole in the wall with wires coming out of it.
And is the sound coming from this hole in the wall?
It's coming from the hole in the ceiling where nothing is.
Oh my god, this is like a surrealist nightmare.
Seems like an experiment.
It's like Tetsuo the Iron Man, but
it's
in a wall.
Fucking the fire alarm in Brett Elston's house. Let's see how long it takes for him to
how long he does it.
Yeah, it's actually a remake of a poem.
The telltale alarm.
Because the shrieking of that accursed alarm.
Because I murdered a bunch of ants and buried them in the ceiling. Literally.
Super
so
horn.
anyway,
sound effects. The fuck
super
off.
horn.
So
get it?
So
this is really good beer, Mike.
So wait till you hear what the fuck it actually is, because the whole time we're like, I'm standing on it, and I call the guy, and I'm purposely standing next to the alarm, so I have to yell over it, and I'm like, you came out 2 weeks ago! It's still going off! And then he's like, that doesn't make no. He can't even do his accent, but it's like he was super nice and patient about it. He's like, it doesn't make sense. It can't be going off. There is nothing. It's nothing in ceiling. It's removed.
I removed ceiling.
Like,
you removed all walls.
Literally, it's like
hovering windows.
Not
everywhere.
kidding. Sounds like Nico. Not even like using that as a crutch. It sounded like Nico.
His soul of boy, I release in ceiling. His fine smoke alarm, yes?
Is that how you do it? So
it costs much money.
Many rubles.
Many rubles.
Just bring bottle of vodka.
The only problem is finding a tank. That was
Yakov did not come to my house. Guilt. So I yell at him long enough on the phone where he's like, "It make no sense." I'm like, "Its noise is still coming out of the fucking hole in the wall." So he's like, "I come there now." So
did you ever think you're actually dead? And maybe your soul is.
So this is so stupid. 20 minutes later, the whole time the alarm's going off, by the way, and Carolyn and I are just sitting in the living room like, fuck! Wow. And like, I eventually go stand outside, and of course you live in a city, so it's just echoing down all the buildings and reverberating across the block. Like, and everyone who walks by is like, what the fuck? So finally he shows up, and him parking was a whole other adventure I won't even go into. Driving a truck down, like, that was another 10 minutes of like, no! And then he hits a car. I'm not kidding. Fucking hits a car.
But he was happy.
And I'm like, it's fine, come on. So then he walks in, he's got the ladder, and he's like, what is going... And he's looking at the ceiling like, what? And then it shuts off. Magically, the fucking moment he puts the ladder and stands up there, it shuts off again. And that was 30 minutes again, just like when it came on the podcast, and Carolyn called me back and said, 30 minutes, it just shut off. Why would a fire alarm shut off after 30 minutes? Even though it should anyway, because by 30 minutes you're either dead or not there, so it should just shut the fuck up.
Yep.
But... again, it happened right when he got there. Now he's like, that doesn't... No. So he starts looking at the wiring. He's like, is all fine. All wire's fine. It makes no sense. So we're like going back and forth, and he's like, you must... like, he's like, fucking ghost. Like, do you have ghost? And then he's like looking at all the ducts like that. What? And he's just like telling us that is impossible. No noise can come. That's just wiring.
But he was there. He heard it.
And he's like, and I know that doesn't make any sense. And then finally, he looks down at the ground and notices this carbon monoxide detector plugged into the wall that I never put there, but was there since we moved in from the people from the when they were showing off the house. There was a carbon monoxide detector that had been plugged in the wall the entire time I've lived there, which is only a year. And he's like, could it be that? And we're like, no, it can't be that, because no. And then
because embarrassment.
Because that would be ridiculous. And then I unplug it from the wall and take the battery out, and then it immediately starts making that fucking noise. It's a fucking carbon monoxide detector, which was still malfunctioning because the meter still said 0 on it. But it's in a bedroom, and that loud of a noise, it can sound like it's coming from anywhere.
Wow, you really couldn't tell?
You could not. Carolyn and I were both like, no, that's where it's coming from. Because your brain is also going, well, that's the thing where the noise...
Yeah,
but I mean, it's in a bedroom, and when you shut the door to isolate the sound as much as you can from the rest of the building, that noise just sounds
piercing.
Like
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, your mind just wants to fucking shred itself. So finally I start plugging the battery in and out, and it's the exact same sound. That's clearly what it was. So then he's like,
your girlfriend fought too much.
Yeah.
Smash with hammer.
You've made carbon monoxide too much. Like,
Carolyn, host of Pokemon Monday, does not fart too much, just enough.
Does not fart at all.
At all.
Women do not fart. But what...
So it's all Brett.
100% me and our cat. But we called the guy out there, like, vehemently, no, it is the ceiling making the noise. I know it's impossible, but that's what it is. And he's like, is it that? No. And then he luckily didn't charge us for being idiots.
Wow.
He's like, he just shakes my hand, and he's like,
hopefully he's not a listener.
But what fucking luck. It really was a smoke alarm one week, and the next week it was a completely different alarm. And now
what's setting off the car? That's a little more dangerous.
Well, I know that's the dangerous part, and I'm just like, fuck it, I'll die in my sleep silently. That's
it's very respectful. You wake up, it's not. It wouldn't hurt me to see you like just. Oh, he died.
I'm just tucked away.
Like his eyes are closed and everything.
Embalm me. I'm dreaming about Mario.
Yeah,
who cares?
Wake up dead.
That's exactly how I'm going to do it, man.
Who sings that song? Wake Up Dead.
Duh.
Well, there's a auto-tune the news that does that.
I'll find out while I slowly Google this. But that problem is now solved, if you cared. Oh, man. I am ready.
Are you ready for some football?
Always. Yes. New releases this week. What are we looking at? Is there anything other than Madden?
Yes.
You said 2.
Yeah. Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Duh. Yes, Scott Pilgrim. Scott Pilgrim is one. You played Scott Pilgrim, Michael.
I did.
Megadeth sing.
I played it too. But I doubt I played it as much as you did.
I played enough to play through. Hey, see, I was dumb because it has 3 difficulty levels, and it defaults to what you think is easy. And so I'm like, fuck that. I'm playing on whatever normal is because the middle difficulty is what I normally play, and then it is just ridiculously hard. The enemies are all super tough. I'm doing barely any damage. I have to try 3 times before I can even make it to the boss of the first level, and then he kills me in one hit. And there's no continue because, there is a continue, but because I don't have any friends along playing with me, it just sends me back to the beginning. So, my recommendation is play that for the first time on Average Joe, which is the lowest.
What's the other one? What would you play on?
I forget.
Okay.
I don't remember.
I really did. What little we played, I really enjoyed. I just love how
I loved it.
I love how well it's animated.
Oh yeah, it's fantastically animated.
And the Anamanaguchi soundtrack, of course, is
by that guy who did Kings of Power 4 billion% on YouTube.
He is involved in that.
He did the art.
God damn it, that guy is amazing. I love that guy.
Paul Richardson.
I knew
what
was it?
It's Paul Richardson.
Paul Richardson. I knew.
Fantastic.
The whole time, all I could think is Kings of Power 4 billion%. I forget his website. I probably can't promote it because it's too vile.
The other one was Cabana Baby something or other. That was the
Pirate Cabana Baby.
Yeah, Pirate Cabana Baby something or other.
Like that. Yeah.
That was just the fake side-scrolling fighting game, and then he got to make the actual one.
It's so pretty.
Fantastic animation. The team that does it has made fantastic brawlers. They did the GBA version of Ninja Turtles, or TMNT rather.
Oh, the only good one.
The only good one. And it seems like just a very straightforward brawler, but then you start experimenting with it and you find out you can do things like, somebody throws a trash can at you and you can punch it back at them, and then it'll bounce back at you and you can punch it again, and you can just bounce things off enemies repeatedly. You can pick up enemies like in River City Ransom and just use them as clubs.
I did see that.
There's all these shops you can go into that I didn't even really notice the first couple times.
Yeah, that's where you can
you can subspace
buy,
highways.
You can buy new assists and outfits.
Yeah,
and is Knives is everybody assist, right?
I think so, at least from the beginning.
I think I was told her dad can be the assist.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Eventually.
What I love about this game, and then by extension, all of the Scott Pilgrim stuff that's kind of bubbling to the surface now, the game that almost was, like the pitch trailer that you wrote about today, which was really cool, and then the movie itself, which we're hopefully all going to see tonight. Friday.
I love it because all this game stuff that's coming out, it's like...
It's
every one of us who read the comics,
Yeah.
this is a no-brainer. This is the perfect game.
Yeah.
It already is. It adapts suitably, and I don't know. It feels like it took the suits this long to find out, and it's... I don't know. I feel very well rewarded for waiting.
I'm really impressed. I mean, I just finished an article on all the video game references.
Oh yeah,
in the
what's it
comic.
called?
Scott Pilgrim's Precious Little Video Game References.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to do one on the game now because it's just got all this stuff that not only references, it references Super Mario Brothers 2 and the character select and Super Mario World and the world map, and then but it does things like. There is an image on the back of one of the books, on the back cover, where it's like this little 16-bit thing with Scott Pilgrim, and he's opening a door into subspace, and all these weird Game Genie corrupted tiles start spilling out all over the place. And then you go into subspace in the game, and that's exactly what it is. It's full of those weird little corrupted tiles. And they usually denote here's an exit, and you can go here to leave subspace. And
playing that game,
cool.
it felt like somebody had listened to everything I've ever said on this show.
Yeah,
the things I used to love.
Well, that's what I was getting to was all the stuff that's come up because of the movie, the game, and the book 6 coming out. It always was kind of inadvertently meant to be this, but now I'm really feeling it. Just it validates a generation in a way. It's not really that profound, but there are moments when I'm reading that or playing the game or watching the trailer at least, because I haven't seen the movie yet, but where I feel like all that time that everyone told us we were wasting our time is now one of the most marketable things there is. Like, and everyone else was fucking wrong. And that makes me feel really good. There's a generation of us who, when we were like 12 and 13, were told, look, it was cool to play games when you were a kid, but it's not cool when you're 13.
Even that pitch video.
And now everyone
the pitch video
loves
we
it.
posted today was crude.
Yeah.
But, I always remembered Mega Man is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, turns out it is. Oh, Smash and Comics today. I always remember that as part of me. I didn't think it...
Yeah.
Oh, no, it looks like it applies to everybody and works in other situations. Oh, Ninja Gaiden intro is one of my favorite intros of all time.
Great.
Apparently it is for somebody else.
I love that thing because, as I point out in the references article, the bit where in the comic where Scott faces off with Roxy is a direct shot-for-shot recreation of the opening cinema from Ninja Gaiden, where Ryu's dad and Bloody Moth, the other ninja, are charging at each other, and they meet in midair. And it's like, even like they have these weird, awkward slash poses where they meet in midair, and like that's perfectly recreated in the comic. And then that in turn is perfectly recreated. Like they recreate that cutscene complete with the music in the pitch trailer.
Yeah,
except they replace the ninjas with Scott and Roxy.
NES Ninja Gaiden, by the way,
Yeah.
not your newfangled.
Not
Ninja
the
Gaiden.
Itagaki Ninja.
No, the arcade one too.
Screw the arcade.
That is completely different.
The intro is the same.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it is not.
No, it is not.
The intro of them running together and clashing in midair.
It is
from
similar,
the fucking moon.
but it's from the side because I watched it yesterday, and it's not another ninja. It's one of those fuckers in a hockey mask.
Happens to everybody. Happens. Okay. All right. Sorry. I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad.
All right. Shut me down.
I don't feel bad. I didn't mean to shut you down. Well, I do feel this is a good segue.
Oh man, I am ready.
Guess what else is out this week?
Monday Night Party?
Madden 11. Are you ready for some football?
I'm waiting I'm ready for Monday Night Party on Wii.
I don't care about, but I just got over with that conversation, my hatred of sports and sports culture.
Really?
I always
come back evaporated. What?
Well, just to see that, finally now, okay, I'm getting mine. What I like is being appreciated. There's a lot of reverence
in a $10 PSN game. Just saying.
It's a little different than that though, because it's something
also getting a hugely promoted movie,
marketable. Yeah, they're trying.
Fair enough.
They're building off my nostalgia.
Yeah,
it means something. Whereas I was a gamer a long time ago, and I had to keep that at bay, and for a while had to pretend to like sports, which I've always, I know that's my beef, but I always hated sports because I had to pretend to like it to try and fit in.
Right.
Because I don't understand it. I don't know why people like to watch a lot of commercials and then mutants beat each other up when they could be doing it themselves in a game. It never made sense to me. It never made sense to me.
Yeah.
But now I'm over this. Madden, I'm with you.
Are you really?
He needs it. He needs this now.
I just hope that eventually they'll take Madden and they'll just port that engine over for another Mutant League Football.
Oh yeah,
Mutant League Football.
We were talking about that earlier today because I wrote an entry for Chris actually about Mutant League Football today.
We'll see if that article comes. It's one of those. I got bored for 45 minutes and let's try and see how fast I can do a feature on something I don't like and don't care about. How quickly can I pull this together? And Nelson decided to help me, which sort of obligates me to do it.
Kind of does. But I wrote your entry already.
You did. But now I got to look into fucking Deion Sanders Primetime '97 and see if I can find a copy of that somewhere on the internet and get some screens.
Yeah, Mutant League Football. God, I would love. I mean, EA already has the NFL monopoly in the first place. The least they could do is fucking give us a Mutant League Football game once a decade.
Yeah,
that idea is immortal.
It's ridiculous.
If you're wondering, could we sell some more football games to people who normally don't buy football games? Yes.
I think
have fucking aliens and robots and fucking skeletons and ogres punch the shit out of each other in crazily styled.
Monday Night Combat has a bit of that vibe. I mean, it is presented to you it's presented to you like a Monday Night Football show.
It is, but it's still people, and people are kind of boring.
I don't disagree, but it's a mutated sport.
We're having a conversation.
We were trying to have a conversation.
No, we were having it. You're interrupting us.
Oh, my bad.
We're having a Mutant League conversation.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Genesis, everybody, go play one.
Yeah, seriously, it's one of it's definitely the best.
Yes.
It's definitely probably the best sports game that's ever been released in the as far as I'm concerned.
It works as a sports game. It works as a game. It works fucking every way. It's so good.
Well, it's sort of fascinated me. Madden came out, and I just began to look at EA. Obviously, maybe Michael remembers what year they bought up the NFL license exclusively and killed
2004.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But even then, it was just like it was Sega, and Sega had even teamed up with ESPN, who used to have their own football games.
Yeah.
They had teamed up to go at Madden the Behemoth.
Yeah.
And they cut their game price in half.
Visual Concepts with 2K5, I think, launched a game at $20.
And then EA went and like, well, now we own the NFL.
Now we own the license.
Now you can't use the NFL.
Yeah, which is like
oh, boo-hoo, because
which is the reason that Blitz went the way that it did.
Yeah, well, Blitz and like not Facebreaker, but like
there's a Midway Arena football game because they did not have they couldn't use the license.
All those crap football games the last few years, like I can't even remember Backbreaker and
bizarre
Legends of Football or whatever it is. Like it's because there's no competition anymore.
Everything we've been told about capitalism is wrong. Because I went back and looked at all the stuff about the NFL games that existed before, and especially on the NES and Super Nintendo, fucking wasteland of horrible shit.
Yeah.
Horrible shit. And since this has happened, the Madden games get better every year, or at least please their demographic.
I've heard 11 is not up to
11 did our guy give it a 7 out of 10?
Our guy gave it a
Richard
7. Rich Grisham, and he's like the games industry's go-to sports reviewer. Because like if you want a job in the games industry, be a sports fan.
Yeah.
Because they're always looking for please will you write a review for NBA 2K7.
I remember seeing I think a Madden developer complaining about that. He's like that sports games are never considered for game of the year, multiplayer of the year. Well, because like the people like you and I on staff, I've never played them.
Yeah.
Have never reviewed them. They're always done by a freelancer.
Also because we'd completely lose our geek cred if we gave Madden Game of the Year.
As someone that has played some sports games, specifically the NCAA football games, they still don't stand up seriously compared to the other ones. So, I mean, I don't see that being much of a problem.
Like I love Tony Hawk, but I would never give that. I've never given that ever in any year given a Tony Hawk game of the year.
Maybe the first one.
I'd have potentially given 2, depending on what he was going up against.
The first Spike TV Video Game Awards gave Madden whatever that year was its Game of the Year award, and then gave whatever that year's Tony Hawk game was Sports Game of the Year.
Yeah,
that's
Madden
seems odd to me.
Madden also won Best Soundtrack that year.
Oh God, yes.
Which I was for someone like me, it made me want to.
I think that was the year it had like Ozomatli and Green Day.
Well, it had Green Day, like it had American Idiot in it.
Oh,
it's like
you might
realize this song
why.
is about how stupid you are, right?
Later on, we played
exactly.
This is this SNES version of ABC Monday Night Football.
Yeah. Sony's sound chip put in good work.
But I went back, and of course I'm fascinated by sound, the sound of old games. But football games, it's easier to trace just because they're all trying to achieve the same thing. And I avoided the Atari era, and I started with NES Play Action Football. The game that Nintendo tried to use to push the 4-score?
The NES satellite. The NES satellite. The 4-player multi-tap.
I believe I don't know if I know of another football game that's made the cover of a Nintendo Power magazine or
the 4-player special was like it was like a whole issue devoted to just the games that would use it. And
but at the time they weren't even monthly at that time.
Yeah,
so it's means more than a magazine cover.
They really pushed NES Play Action Football very, very hard.
And of course I got the national anthem.
Stirring.
I believe that's direct.
I'm standing and covering my heart right now.
You should see what my favorite is the black guy with blowing into a trumpet with a Stars and Stripes top hat. Nintendo lovingly rendered for that scene. Just fantastic.
What I love though is someone had to draw that pixel by pixel.
Yeah. And what's also great about the game, and I had to stop writing about it, but do you remember how excited you would get as kids when you heard speech?
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
It was like bragging rights. Dude, the game I got, it talks.
Yeah,
it talks.
Like that versus the Space Mutants, he says, "Eat my shorts." That means it's not only not the worst game of its generation, but it's the best.
You would use that as a defense.
Oh,
to
yeah.
what you got. Like the game, I heard the game isn't that good, dude.
It fucking talks.
Your part. fucking crazy.
What more do you need?
Montana Sports Talk Football.
Oh, we will get there.
Well, even NBA Jam when he's like, he's on fire. He says it. He says he's on fire.
That was still during NBA Jam. That was the Mortal Kombat era.
Yeah,
so that happened.
And then
I wrote something.
Double dribble and Blades.
The only thing I'm proud of in what I've written so far, and like, yeah, we would brag on the recess yard and talks and talks.
For sure.
And now today we complain if we can't skip Scott scenes.
Yeah.
And
like, I don't want you to stop talking.
No.
Well, it's because
shut up.
I played the Square Enix game if it wasn't for
Well, it's because a lot of game developers
it's a substitute.
It's a substitute. It's padding, and they just feel like it's like a kid who's never had a toy in his life given every toy in the world.
It ain't like this, which to NES Play Action Football's credit had sound in a football game long before a lot of other games did.
Ready, set,
Jesus Christ!
Wait, listen to the crowd. The crowd is going wild, or washing the microphone with a sponge.
The crowd is crashing.
The crowd is actually a modem.
My favorite, my favorite is the touchdown, because I'm looking at it. It's
going wild.
It's 1 second. It's 1 second. He says touchdown in 1 second, and it's almost as if he's like, whatever the technology was back then. Okay, look, we have 0.6 of a second left,
right?
In what we can fit on this cartridge. You have to say touchdown really fast.
touchdown, touchdown.
That sounds like a Japanese man.
Yeah, it does.
Touchdown, and then we have Super Play Action Football
for Super Nintendo.
For Super Nintendo,
was really slow and kind of crappy.
Slow and crappy, but I think it, to its credit, the one thing it did for a football game, you got to play from high school to college,
really,
to the NFL.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it also had a little bit of speech.
Ready, set.
Was that hike?
You heard the man.
But.
Wow.
Is he protesting or calling attention to an ass?
But he is the quarterback. I mean, he's obviously just talking about what he's seeing.
But remember how much. I mean, I wasn't even a sports game fan. How much your mind was blown for Joe Montana. I can't remember. Joe Montana 2, Sports Talk Football. The title changed every year. It was NFL Football featuring Joe Montana. It was Joe Montana's Football.
Sports Talk.
And then it was Sports Talk Football.
Yeah. Well, they didn't have 2s yet, so they had to.
This is 2.
Well, the first Joe Montana was on the SMS. So.
Yeah, it was on multiple platforms. The Genesis really they were buying commercials.
Well, no.
Yeah.
The very first was specifically for the Sega Master System because before it became the Genesis thing, because it was before the Genesis.
Oh yeah, when Sega was like signing like Buster Douglas.
It was actually on the.
Because I still have a copy.
It was on the PC as well, but like Sega. It wasn't on Nintendo, and Sega was like, "We have Joe Montana, and you fucking don't."
Right.
And you don't. And oh my God, the talking football!
It's so great.
It's so great.
Welcome to Joe Montana Sports Talk Football.
It's like you're talking out of your throat.
Oh man, it's so. If you know anything about game music, that music is so Genesis.
No, it is. Yes, very much
so. Genesis.
I went really nerdy with the Sonic 4 dude to ask him about the music. Because someone's like, the Sonic 3D Blast music is in the game. Like, dude, do you have 3D Blast music in the game? No, it's a placeholder. Jesus, it was leaked. He said, but the composer, whose name I forget, is only using 8 notes.
Yeah, I've read that
because that's what the Genesis game
He's limiting himself to sound as much like Sonic 3 as he can, so it feels like an extension.
He'll open up what he can use technologically, but he's going to give himself 8 notes just like the Genesis. Here's more Genesis talking.
A beauty.
On his back.
Take it to the 10, 20, down at the 22. A 14-yard return.
Oh my God.
I'm recovering from a stroke.
Would you like to play again?
Up to my throat.
It's rudimentary, but if you watch it with the video, I cannot believe how fast it's pulling up these things. Like it knows what yard it's on. It knows where if someone's receiving or returning.
Well, it doesn't have to worry about complex AI and polygons, so they got to put that kilobyte of memory somewhere.
This is all
it
part
blew
of
my mind. Seriously, I was.
Yeah,
this is definitely still the point where I was just hardcore sports fan. I mean, I was playing football. I was actually, I was a lineman for a while. So, this is stuff that I was just really interested in. Just playing this, just like, oh my god, this is the most advanced football game I've ever seen because it's actually talking to you and telling you what's going on. The gameplay was, still very much the do the Hail Mary every round,
every single time. But go all the way, go all the way.
It actually does not work. Like I love reading people's reviews and like, man, they spend way too much time in the talking. The commentary, the game fucking sucks. Like even the Madden that came out 3 years before was better than this one. And I love this. This is from the same minute of dialogue. I just kept capturing commentary.
He throws, going for the sideline. Incomplete. That brings up second down. It's second down. I can't believe it.
Oh,
I like it.
Every fourth thing ends with "I can't believe it."
Oh, you're ruining it.
Washington lines up for the field goal on the first down, and I can't believe it.
One more in the
field goal and first down. I can understand that.
I know it's like that's a perfectly reasonable thing to happen.
To not be able to believe.
Washington lines up for the field goal on the second down. I can't believe it.
After doing it on the first down, I can understand that too.
Yeah, I can't believe it again. I can't believe it worse.
Like, what the hell's going on here?
Can you please isolate "I can't believe it" so we can have that as a sound effect for the rest of the cast?
Honey, done and done.
Oh, thank you.
Done and done.
Can you believe it?
Do you fucking believe it? I don't have it queued up, but I did do it.
Well, I'm ready, if that helps at all.
All right.
Are you ready? Are you ready for the...
I can't believe it.
You need to have a dialogue between that guy and Naruto.
We are so almost ready to do something that outlandish. Until I found a football game that I'd never heard of with the NFL license.
The LJN one?
No.
Oh, all right.
Because I definitely heard of that and seen that everywhere. I'd never heard of Capcom's MVP football.
I've heard of that.
Never
heard of.
Never seen it in my life. Something about like Capcom. You sullied yourself with football.
They had to make some money.
They're responsible for the most wildly Japanese nonsense, consistently year after year. The fact something depressed me about them making football until I listened to the title screen, which is, I think, meant to drive Americans insane. Yeah. And, this wouldn't be special, but this is a 1.5-minute clip. I mean, this is batshit, yes.
Right.
And then, let's transition to a little drum solo. Yeah. Clear out, man.
It's not fucking around.
And then it just goes into this somber...
What system was this on?
The Super Nintendo.
Sounds like Super Nintendo.
Okay. 1990.
This is where you think about how.
92.
This is where you think about where you came from, your high school roots, and that's when you start reflecting on your football career.
I should go back and rewrite it because it was 92. So I think Street Fighter was getting popular, but probably not when they were developing this thing for the future.
Street Fighter 2 was big in 91 and launched in the SNES in 92.
But this probably was in development beforehand because they had no idea where they were going. It's like, we can't take Mega Man on the Super Nintendo. That'd be insane.
Right.
That'd be insane. We needed to get with this football thing. And that's sort of the point of the whole article is the football fucking series. It's like the Old West. There were so many disgusting, deceptive football games. You had no idea what to pick from, what to choose from. We were remembering a commercial today.
Troy Aikman.
And you and I had a tiny argument over that was Troy Aikman. I'm like, that was the Joe Montana commercial. That was Troy Aikman. Turns out we were both right because the same commercial had the same idea. Because
each of them I was like, oh, there's an ad with Troy Aikman where they say, we've stolen Troy Aikman's brain and made a playbook based on his memories. And Chris was, no, it's Joe Montana. It turns out, both commercials, 4 years apart, did the same gag.
No, 1 year apart.
1 year apart.
They stole Aikman's brain. It's a Troy Aikman NFL football from Trade West.
That was the sound of his brain being juiced.
Trade West.
Troy's two-point conversion. Use Troy's exclusive general manager screen to build a Super Bowl champion.
Gonna be a long nut.
They stole Aikman's brain. It's a Troy Aikman NFL football.
That phrase has been burned into my brain.
That last part definitely tells you things are different.
Football at Kmart.
Whoa, Kmart.
NFL football at Kmart.
And then the Joe Montana commercial.
Created the ultimate football video game because I control Joe Montana. Wait.
Hooked up to a brain apparatus.
Stop.
Oh, but then what?
I love every second.
Does that? It's a lie.
It's true. Call, play, scramble, pass, and score with Joe Montana football on Game Gear.
But mine's also a color TV.
This optional TV tuner turns Game Gear into a color TV.
Oh, the TV tuner.
The TV tuner, which I cannot believe how irrelevant. Like, I never thought there'd be a future, like, I'll have a TV with me forever. I didn't know the FCC would cut it off. You literally, that Game Gear tuner, like, will never work again.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. No, never.
Well, they quit broadcasting those signals, so
it's over. Yeah. It is over. Like, but you buy a piece of technology, you think it'll work forever.
Yeah. I remember that fucking TV tuner was the only time in grade school in my life that girls ran towards me because they were like, "Oh my God, soap operas!" Because the only things that are on when you're in school are soap operas, and I put that TV tuner into the Game Gear, and I'm like, I'm gonna pull this antenna out. No one will notice that I'm watching TV. It's like a 4-foot antenna coming out of an 8-year-old kid's desk or something. Yeah. And what do you want? Oh my God, it's Guiding Light! And then all these fucking girls.
So you were watching Guiding Light?
I was watching. It was TV. It was TV on a Game Gear. It was amazing.
Brett's secret shame.
It is pretty great.
Well, that episode.
I thought
that guy who you thought was dead, he wasn't. So it was a big episode.
I thought of maybe
that's every episode.
Yeah.
Because I'm sort of pressed for time. I was trying to think of something I could do quickly, and maybe a Madden theme article is better because I went through all the Madden themes through every year. Oh, oddly enough, except for this one. Whatever, I won't get sued. We played Ludacris. What's Ludacris possessive? Ludacris Madden 2001 theme.
Better than you and I can prove it. Set up your best defense, I run through it. Check out the play-by-play with John Madden. Exhibiting EA Sports, we come smash.
Royal penis is silky.
My bad. That was Exhibit.
Oh,
we're going.
Yeah,
back
I was going. That does not tell me.
We're going back in time. That is from Exhibit's song, classically titled "The Mad In Game." Mad IN. GAME. Yeah.
I have the 2002 Madden song.
Ludacris is better.
You might as well quit because you just can't lie. Madden 2000, put your face in the ground.
2000.
In the dirt, so put on a skirt.
That sounds like Ludacris.
I love it, like when I actually first time saw rap or hip hop live. Like there's a guy who just punctuates the end of your sentence. That's all he does. That's all he does.
The microphone up every 6 words.
This is it. Skirt. Hurt. Dirt. That's all he does. It's amazing.
He also walks around.
Oh wait, I do. He does. He looks intimidating usually. He's usually a big guy. But I was not a fan of what would you call this? This shaming me into playing Madden because I suck and I'll never get better. By muscular black men. Had to go back. Had to go deeper, like Inception. Yeah, try to see if I could grab people back with that. Apparently not.
Nope.
Madden 96, Super Nintendo.
Wow.
Nice shit.
Sounds like plot.
Man, Rock Hill's gonna play some football now.
Sounds like every base lick he got the answer wrong.
Super Nintendo, good baseline all the time.
Usually. Oh, are you going to get some more beer, Michael? It's very sweet of you.
Actually, whatever.
And there's, but just going back to the Genesis, who had, the exclusive on Madden for a while. Yeah, Electronic Arts stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not coming to Nintendo, period. Period. I think it came in 94 94, 95.
Yeah.
But
for a while it was a Sega deal, yeah.
93, I want to make sure everybody here is wearing rubber boots or something where they can't be electrocuted by the soundtrack.
I'm wearing metal sheets.
Because this is one of those tinny wax paper Genesis themes. Oh, Jesus.
Yes. Oh, my God.
Madden! You guys ready to do the same thing on a green field over and over again? You know you are.
Dude, the Mutant League football music is the exact same. And
then 92. Holy shit.
I think that's the first Madden, actually, is 92.
I'm not sure if it is. Well, there's just... There was another developer working on football games, and like they...
Well, I mean, the first thing called Madden, I think it was 92, I think.
It almost for a second sounded like the Home Improvement theme song.
it sounded
across the room.
It sounded like your sound effect. Man, Genesis music is a special kind of shitty.
Ready for some football?
Chubb. Thank you.
And then to make this podcast really, really special,
I apologize to our UK listeners who don't give
you know what I did?
Who give even less of a fuck.
We don't actually give much of a fuck.
I looked up what the fuck. Okay, I was writing this article like, not that football, this football. Like, wait a minute, why the fuck did we call? Who called this football?
I don't know. It's such
that was stupid.
It's real arrogance.
It's definite arrogance, but it turns out it was sort of an accident.
Okay.
Because there was football, soccer in England. Soccer in, well, excuse me, everywhere else in the world is football.
Football. All right, yeah. Sure.
Is football. And there's rugby. Rugby football. And football is mostly made from rugby. From rugby. And then it became American football. And then it just became football.
I see.
Football, as it evolved, and like I think they built downs and shit. And that was it. It just became American football and then football.
Just football.
Because we market things better. And I don't say that... bragging.
We just do.
No, that's evil shit.
It's a sad.
I'm not proud of it.
Yeah. We'll make you buy anything.
Our ad industry is fantastic.
Exactly.
When the nations have the final war, we will only be the jesters and the marketers.
Yep.
We will have no say in any policy.
We will be selling guns to all sides and making them believe that it is righteous.
Ooh, look at us drink.
Wow.
Look at us drink.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Just to make sure...
Wow, this beer is
This
really
is a very special podcast. I made a phone call.
A very special drunken podcast.
A series of phone calls. I got John Madden on this podcast.
Wow, good for him.
Don't talk over him.
Tough acting to acting?
He didn't see it, but I'll guarantee you he felt it.
Amazing. Amazing. Circa the Super Nintendo, 1996.
Well, that's when he's hardest to get.
One coming.
My favorite Madden clip?
Boink!
I don't know where that ever came in.
It's my favorite wrestling clown.
You know what? And I hear in the audio business they call him Johnny One Take. Here's him doing EA Sports.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
I guess.
So there. So
I guess.
Such as it is.
Boom. It's an acting.
Yeah. I felt that one way up here.
Wait, what was the end of
I
that?
know.
I felt that one way up here.
Did he get yanked off the seat?
Yeah, I guess so, with a giant vaudevillian hook.
I was going to say with a giant cane yanking him off the side of the stage.
He flattened him like a pancake. Pow!
Pow! Was that even a sound?
That was almost a sound.
Capable of making?
It was almost
perfect
sound.
It starts with a P and then it's really vague after that.
Sounds like something Tyler Wilde would say when he's drunk.
Boom!
All right, we should get out of here with this talk writer. Oh wait, fuck! I had one more thing.
Boom!
I'm sorry. I have never been able to create a good sting for it, a good intro music, song and dance. But I'm constantly on Nolan Northwatch.
Okay.
I was playing through Crackdown. He's in Crackdown 2.
Yep.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Yeah, he's in Crackdown 2, and he's in Mafia 2.
Is he?
And somebody... I don't... But in Crackdown, he's not a character. You collect audio logs, and he's just a guy in the audio... That's what sucks. Like, he should be...
That's about as close as that game has to characters.
Man. I guess.
Well, aside from the...
Whatever you say,
the voice
agent.
of the agent.
Yeah.
That
the
fucking,
voice of
like...
the agency.
It's like... That leader voice is like... I love him, and then I'm like, God damn it, I get it already.
He was actually the worst part about Crackdown 2.
Yeah.
What I
You think
that-
he was worse than the fucking hordes of zombies or the endlessly repetitive beacon
The last mission,
missions?
Jesus Christ.
God, the last mission on that tower, it was
fucking
terrible.
horrible.
Because I played it by myself.
But I had a lot of fun before that.
Yeah, I played most of it up to that point co-op, but then the last tower, like it was by myself.
Oh,
it was terrible.
It was awful. You ruined everything, Agent. And then I went to go grab a turret gun. You just killed a peacekeeper, Agent. That man has a family. what? Do you want to call them and shut up? And he only has one reprimand piece of dialogue, and I kept dying and had to do this over and over again.
A family made out of small polygons.
Don't kill peacekeepers, Agent.
I don't think I can emphasize that enough. No, but there's a recent patch that seemed to have lessened the amount of time that he spends just yelling at you all the time.
Well, they actually had to patch that.
They did.
Yeah,
it was patched, but he doesn't do a lot of dialogue. It's him saying the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, but it was like every 10 seconds he was yelling
The worst
at
is
you.
like when you're trying
now it's just like, okay, you get one every 2-3
You hit
minutes.
a baby with a rocket launcher. That's an achievement, Agent.
like every time you're trying to take those tactical locations,
Yeah.
like you take like 4 steps away. This tactical location is undefended, Agent. Get back to the
I'm
standing next to it.
Yeah, what's the one at the tactical location that's like that big fucking tower that it's like hard to find a way
The
in?
agency.
Yeah, the agency tower.
Agent,
I
guess.
Terrible.
No, it's not the agency tower. It's
Oh, the
like a big hotel or something.
Yeah.
where-
Yeah.
Was one of the places in the first game that was really hard to get to in the first place.
Boink!
I just know that Crackdown 2 is the first time I've actually ever thrown a controller.
Really?
I was really fucking mad.
You managed to make it your whole life without throwing a controller.
Exactly.
I don't believe
I've done a very good
I
job
was
of just
really
really wanting to, but stopping and doing that. But then I was playing Crackdown and I died during one of the things. It's just like this thing is aborted. Come back when you grow a pair.
When you grow a pair, Agent.
I was just like, fuck you. I'm just like, wow, I threw the controller.
Dawn has arrived, Agent.
It's a new day.
It's a new day. I'm Richard Nixon now.
I'm not a crook.
I am also not a crook.
Okay, anyway, Nolan North is in that, and then we have somebody. I don't know where it came from because Mafia 2 is not out yet. Obviously,
No.
It's Nolan North is in the game.
Okay.
Playing an NPC, like a pedestrian, arguing with another pedestrian, also voiced by Nolan North. It's the most insane thing. It's the most insane thing I've ever seen.
You have this
is completely uncut.
Jesus Christ, are you playing again? Yeah, I almost had it too.
Oh my God.
But some jackass dumps me on the river. I don't pay up by the end of the week, I'm done for. Loan sharks, huh? No, don't look at me, pal. I ain't no bank. I got a better idea. How about you buy my car?
I don't know how this works, but it seems like
This is
every
very meta.
voice actor would have to have recorded that dialogue.
Yeah.
And somebody just happened to get 2 Nolan North ascribed characters walking out of the spawn
Where did
point.
the audio come from?
Well, I know
Mafia 2.
I've played through some of that, and
It's on YouTube.
The pedestrian conversations tend to be scripted, at least the parts that I've played. So
That's what I think is weird, because he
that
plays
is
both
really
parts.
weird. That had to be
And they wouldn't
intentional.
have done that unless the odds of both of them meeting up were so insignificant.
I'm still just like so. I get that voice actors don't get paid much and they're very underrated because they have to do a lot of. And voice acting is completely different from acting.
Oh, yeah.
And you should hire voice actors, not actors.
Nolan North is the best. I'm not
And
making
he's-
fun of him. He's fantastic.
No, he's great. It's just, it's like he's so prolific, yet I can't. I would love to think that shit like this is above him or below him. I mean,
But it
like
isn't.
he's the head. Like he's perfect at Uncharted.
Listen, he within 2 months he starred in like the best sell. I don't know. I can't even fucking phrase it right now. Stupid beer is too strong. But fucking Assassin's Creed, Prince of Persia, and fucking Uncharted 2. He's the lead in all of them, and he doesn't really. It's the same voice.
Yep. Yeah.
Like, shouldn't this be worth something? Shouldn't you guys be outbidding one another to use this guy?
Yeah, and instead it's like, hey, can you fucking yap in this microphone for Mafia 2?
Would you mind voicing War Machine underneath? How about Raphael the Ninja Turtle? You do that too? He does that too. He's in Gears of War and blah blah
It's
blah.
just unbelievable. Like I would assume, like he's got to be the pick of the litter. Nope.
Yeah, exactly.
Nope.
And then we got to get him on the podcast. But
oh god, that'd be great.
I forgot this conversation had a joke at the end. It can't be funny when, as Multiplicity proved, when delivering it to yourself.
How about you buy my car? You mean the one that just got stolen? Sure. Still runs good. No thanks. See ya. All right.
God, it's too much.
It is so meta.
Yeah.
With that joke about myself losing a fake car in a game that I stole from me. Like, I bet the fucking thief has his voice.
With that,
hey, which one of you guys' car is this? Well, that's my car. Well, I just stole it. Great.
With that, I'm calling.
I want to hear him like play a prostitute.
I can't transition.
Propositioning a John.
With that, I think we should go into break. The third segment, which happens to be brought to you by Arkwright Fantasia. Yeah, I know. Arkwright. And if you've been interested in Arkwright Fantasia, would you shut up?
You should be. Oh my goodness.
I don't. But it's in game deals. But
nice.
That's right. So stay tuned. Big giant game deals coming up.
I can't believe it.
Hi, this is Ryan McCaffrey from the official Xbox magazine's KOXM Radio. You're listening to TalkRadar.
Hey, sports fans, what makes Sega Genesis New Joe Montana 2 Sports Talk Football the most realistic? Simple. They're the only ones who put in a continuous play-by-play announcer. Let's go to the action.
Montana back to pass. Throws, going deep, wide open. Payday!
Joe Montana 2 Sports Talk Football. It's a whole lot more.
Gotta get Genesis!
The iTunes reviews are in.
Twishart says,
a wonderfully pungent gaming cluster shard.
Kyrian BC says,
spawned from the heavens, absolute brilliance on so many levels.
Melzul says,
pants-crappingly hilarious. And Game Dad says,
the constant belching and F-bombs make the podcast feel immature.
Get over here!
TalkRadar for the win.
TalkRadar segment 3, 114.
We're going to give it probably the third hour of TalkRadar.
We're going to get to that end zone tonight, baby. All the way there.
We're looking forward to this particular podcast.
I'm so glad you're here, Michael.
Oh,
you got me hammered. TalkRadar segment 3 brought to you by Arkwright Fantasia exclusively on
And TalkRadar segment 3 also brought to you by the beer that Mike brought us. Holy shit.
I will no longer say exclusively in the third segment in my contract.
I know, that's a bad word to say.
Only on we. Only. Let's see how good I do with that. Only on we.
Only on.
I've
noticed that that seems to be a problem we have. Like, if you watch this week's Trailer Trash with Chris, Lizzie, and I.
Ooh.
We start off slow with Aragorn's Quest and whatever the second one is, but then like the third, fourth, and fifth one, we warm up and we get really good. Boom! And then the third segment of TalkRadar, as you can tell by how long it's taking me to get to this point, we're always too hammered to get good.
Yeah.
or it's always the loudest, most tangent-filled.
Who can be the most obnoxious?
And as one of the listeners, I always find segment 3 to be my favorite.
I know.
I wonder.
Podcast love segment 3. It's
as a listener, what is there ever a point where you're like, all right, guys, come on. For real.
For real?
Like, is there ever a point where we deviate too much and you're like, come the fuck on, I want to get to this.
No.
You said something about how you sounded
Seriously,
in
no.
Trailer Trash.
I feel like I sound nasally for some reason.
That'll clean out the sinuses.
Whoa!
That was on the ball, man.
Wait.
It was just there. I had to take it away, and so I could put in the fucking Donald.
That's rude.
Sorry, son. Sorry.
No, seriously. As a listener, I
broadcast
really don't
professional.
find anything to be any issue listening to it. Maybe some of the top sevens.
Really?
Really,
But I consider, like,
but
we-
that's before you get drunk.
Yeah,
so
we
that's
feel
fine.
like that some of the
We
top
don't
sevens
have-
are a good warm up.
But we don't have a warm up, and like
Yeah,
most
exactly.
radio
Yeah,
shows
so
do
it
a
makes-
warm up.
it makes
Letterman
sense.
goes on, a
hold it
stand-up
close, hold it
comedian
close.
goes and warms up the crowd so they're ready to laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Like, we don't
I
have
understand
that.
I understand exactly, but so that's, that would be the only thing that I would say that sort of drags.
I
a
like
little
it. It's what makes us.
The top seven is an excuse for us to drink and discuss, so that segment 2 and 3 can be filled.
It normally
with
exactly.
Exactly. No, I understand.
It's an easy jumping off point for discussion.
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
I
and
understand.
two, I have to
Usually.
look for stuff that sounds like this and that. 7, I'm given 7 things I can
Yeah.
find things related to.
No. I'm not saying there's anything bad about it.
no,
I'm just saying
yeah.
this.
How dare you come into our house and criticize us?
Yeah, it was a little.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Was a
Oh,
doink.
Anyway,
One of the well wishers this week. Username, it's better than sticking your cock in a blender. Jesus Christ, we have no filters? He even fucking intercapped it.
Intercappers.
didn't we have filters at one point?
I think so. I mean, we took them off. And then
Or is
people
it just
abused
like
them.
when people say shit in the actual messages and there's no filters on
The reality
names?
is Tyler Wilde is the only one of us who knows how to do any of that shit.
That's true.
And we both think cursing and every offensive thing you do is entertaining.
Yeah,
But there's certain things that are getting a little tiresome, and I'm not going to say what they are because I have
We've been pushing for uncensored fucks for years now. We may be within a couple of years of that.
That's right.
I bet I could argue that. Actually.
It's better than sticking your cock in a blender. Sent me a message saying TalkRadar is awesome. I've been listening since around '99, so I'm not exactly a TalkRadar vet. I honestly just listen for comedy gold. I don't learn a fucking useful thing about games, but you guys are great. Thank you. Thank you. Wow.
I think that's sort of an oxymoron, a useful thing about games.
Oh, burn. We can't start thinking like that.
No,
Then we're the enemy.
Oh, no.
Oh, ethics.
I don't want to
Michael.
be an enemy.
Well, here's where your chance to shine.
Okay.
Tell people what to buy in game deals.
Fuck. Do as I say.
Yay.
Save a little money for a rainy day.
Really?
What are you buying?
That's right. What are you buying?
What's it like being here with the game deal sound being played? Is it
Just
magic?
heard it live.
No, I fucking love the game deal sound.
Game deal sound. It
is awesome.
I wish I could find. I keep trying to get better better music bumpers for everything, and I can't do it better than. I didn't have Disney's production staff. They made this 40 years ago with a team of people. And full game deals. Kmart. If you're buying Madden 11 on 360 or PS3, you get a $20 EA gaming coupon. No one lifted an eye.
Tell me to me again.
This
How?
time with feeling.
No, I'm ready. I'm ready to listen now.
Okay, yes.
What was the game deal?
Brett Elston. Buy Madden 11 on Xbox 360 or PS3 and get a $20 EA gaming coupon. Let me hear it.
Well, I'll tell you what, Chris. You can take that money and spend it on fine EA programming such as The Sims and the streets of SimCity, Simcopter, Simant.
You hear that? This guy doesn't even like EA. You can take that to the bank.
And if I made points towards Amazon.com and buy the Mirror's Edge soundtrack for only $5.
Game deal. Oh, doctor. More game deals at Kmart.
I didn't already
Kmart.
own it, I'd buy it for that.
Oh, it's so worth
Kmart
it.
really stepping up their game deals. $39.99 for 360 games. Split Second, Alan Wake, Blood, Singularity, Splinter Cell, Conviction, South Africa World Cup 2010, and Transformers War for Cybertron. All 1 cent under $40.
Tell me about Split Second real quick.
Split Second?
Is that worth $40?
To me, yeah, I love Split Second. And Split Second, Disney just released their Q3
And they
earnings
lost
or
a
whatever.
shitload of money, didn't they?
No, they made well, like as a whole, they went up. But I don't think Split Second sold that well. But I also don't think wasn't one of those games they spent years of development on in a giant team.
I'm waiting for it to hit $30, and then I'm buying it in a heartbeat.
It's really good.
I played a little bit of it at PAX Prime.
I'm waiting for it
last
to
year,
hit.
so
I'm waiting for it to hit $30, and then I'll play the copy that I bought for $60.
Here's what I'll guarantee: if you care about
Nice.
racing games at all, if you that Burnout conversation we had, if that interested you at all,
Yeah, I can see that.
Split Second is for you. I understand, like, not wanting to go into just a single player game of just that for 6 hours. I get that. How would you a better game for multiplayer?
How'd you compare it? Like, because I enjoyed Burnout Paradise for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But this is even more like a really linear.
I didn't like Burnout Paradise.
Really?
Yeah,
I
and I
bought
love
two
the Burnout
copies of
games.
it. I bought.
Why?
I bought the first copy on the 360 because that's what
you bought the PC big ass everything version.
Yeah, I bought the PC version this holiday when Steam had it on sale for like $4, $5. Just like, okay, sure, buy it, whatever.
$5, no big deal.
Exactly.
I hate that I can't do Steam deals, but they only do them for like 2 days.
Yeah, that's a major problem. But on the other
only
hand,
for me. For the rest of you, just check Steam. Steam is always giving away stuff at a steal.
No. So Child's Play Dinner 05 was one of the things that I was working at, and they actually auctioned off a Steam subscription that basically anything that was released on Steam,
like the press account.
Yeah, it's exactly the same thing. Press account. It went for less than $200.
Jesus, really?
Because at the time, we're talking about 05. Steam was not working very well.
It's an unlimited free console.
Yeah, I know, and just like I'm looking at it now. I
don't have a press account. It's hard to get a press account now.
Yeah, I look at it right now and I'm going, oh, if I could go back in time to smack myself, I know I wouldn't have been able to eat for 3 weeks. But
way worth it.
But you had games for life,
forever.
Exactly.
Like literally forever, as long as Steam exists.
Exactly.
You mentioned Child's Play. I don't think we've actually expressed what you do.
Yeah,
the shirt
you
you're
do a
wearing.
lot of work with Penny Arcade.
Oh, that's right. No, I don't work with them. I am a Penny Arcade enforcer.
So how does that work exactly?
I'm a volunteer for the Penny Arcade Expo.
Okay.
Do
you get paid anything?
Not at all.
Do you have a say in what goes on in the show?
Not at all.
Do you get compensated in any way? Like
I get a T-shirt.
Oh.
Which I happen to be wearing today.
I see this.
You get to beat people up for no reason.
No.
Oh,
I am a glorified customer service employee.
Oh, that sucks.
That I don't
do it for free.
I do it for free.
Can you harass kids and tell them this line is actually over here?
I could, but I don't.
Good.
Because there was one person who did, and I actually got him kicked out of the event.
Ooh.
Wow.
Can you do something about the ATM charges in the convention center?
No, I can't.
They are.
I really can't.
Can you do something about the food costing 3 times what it should?
No, I cannot.
Damn,
I wish I could.
Like Comic-Con, the ATM fees were unbelievably reasonable.
Yeah.
So,
well, there was a Subway, I think, in the convention center for PAX.
There's two. In fact, there's one upstairs and there's one downstairs right outside.
Go to PAX.
Yeah, definitely go to PAX.
Subway, eat fresh. Game deals.
We will be at PAX. Hey,
we'll be at PAX.
Sort of.
But no, I mean, really, the thing that's kept me going and enforcing at PAX and being a volunteer is the fact that the volunteer staff we take this very, very seriously and we consider ourselves family. It is. You take a look at volunteer conventions and other conventions. It's just like, yeah, they don't do anything outside of it.
Right.
High turnovers, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
We have a very low turnover rate.
I can see that.
We engage with each other constantly throughout the year. Went to a 4th of July party with entirely other enforcers, probably about 80 to 90 people there, all enforcers.
Remember,
it's just one of those things where we and our major thing is that we want to make sure that everybody has a good time. And the way that we do that is we basically say, this is our house. You are guests in our house, so that therefore we are treating you as such.
Right.
So about how many enforcers are there?
At any given event, there's probably around 500.
Wow.
A little under 500. We have probably about a total of around 700 to 800, considering that we've now gone to the point where we've expanded PAX Prime too much where we can't actually encompass that, so now we go to Boston.
In PAX East.
Yeah, exactly.
I had asked my friend, I'm really worried about going to PAX. What if these people here actually know who I am and hate me? It'd be like the only place I could encounter that. Most people never know who I am.
Well, I'll tell you this, is that our attendees are some of the best They're, you know.
I was worried about not being worthy of PAX, and he's like, dude, you have to. PAX is the most relaxed, chill environment.
Seriously,
and
no, it is. I've only been once, but I went in 2007, and the concert was like I felt like I belonged there my entire life.
Yeah,
and
I've
just
never
the vibe walking
Anyway.
around the convention. It's better than Comic-Con, and it's completely different from E3 in that like walking through it's an entire convention center. And it's huge, and it's completely taken over by PAX. There's like panels running well into the night about like your D&D.
Yes.
Helmet campaign that you want to run.
One of my favorite pictures of last year was a line of people, all smiles, lined up at Jeff Gerstmann with smiles to sign their copies of Kane and Lynch.
Wow, that's pretty great.
It was,
wow.
Yeah, it was.
But like you can also see like there are just people in beanbag chairs playing DSs and
yes,
PSPs.
I love
like,
every time I love that picture.
It's just where you go to. It reminds me of being like a 12-year-old and going to a skating rink where everyone there was just as dorky as you. And
no one's got ground to lose or
gain.
Yes,
exactly. It's an even ground. Everyone is equal here. We all like games, and that's all that matters. And it's really cool.
Yeah, like I said, we enforcers, we think it's home because we want everyone else to feel like that this is home.
What's the worst thing that ever happened there?
The worst thing that's ever happened is someone stole a bag from it.
What I heard is somebody stole a debug Wii with an exclusive build from PAX.
I haven't heard.
Are you sure that wasn't the Brink thing? Where the guy was like downloading.
Oh wait, yes, that's right. That was a PAX East
onto his laptop.
No, and it wasn't Brink. It was another XBLA game. He directly plugged his laptop into it and was trying to download it. And then he tried to run. He ended up getting caught by a guy that was working for the booth, who was a federal agent.
I just met him.
Federal agents working for the booths.
Well, he was, you know.
I am an FBI agent, Michael.
It's one of those things where this guy. He was doing some freelancing work on the side.
Beating people up.
No, he was doing
off-duty cop.
Sorry.
Hired trouble. It's like an off-duty cop or something like that. But
Hired
it just
like a retired
just happened to be that he ended up getting. He got seen by an enforcer. Who spoke to the guy that was in charge of that. Who talked to the other enforcer that was in charge of it. Then he managed to mention it to the guy at the booth. It was just like, what?
He didn't see it, but I'll guarantee you he felt it.
Right? Wow, you're really just waiting for these, aren't you?
Good. And so seriously, that guy got caught. The biggest thing that I've seen that has happened that didn't get caught was, someone stole a bag with a laptop in it in 2008.
Once.
That's shitty.
There was two stolen events from that particular booth, which sucked because I was doing a position as basically it's an exhibitor liaison. So I was working directly with a couple of different vendors, and so they're showing their stuff, and I'm making sure that they have water, or if they have any questions, I answer them, or anything that they need, I take care of it. Well, they didn't tell me about the theft, and I was working with them. Which
made you feel useless?
Basically, it's not useless so much as if I ever find out who this kid is, he's not going to find his way home.
Let's do this. Let's do this. Look for me and Mike at PAX. We'll be beating up kids with new laptops.
Just set up a beat up booth.
Hold on, I have to go back to this. We were in game deals. We were in game deals. Best Buy Dragon Age Origins 360 Collector's Edition, $39.99. Also, people are
totally
saying,
worth it.
DJ Hero 360, PS3, and Wii, $39.99 with a free turntable.
That's
also
really
worth
good.
it.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. I ended up picking up DJ Hero when it was $50 at Toys R Us, and I've been having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I've loved it. I just don't want to. I'm not willing to invest in it because I know I might not want it for longer than a year.
No, I understand that.
So this price is fine with me.
No, it's a lot of fun.
That's two turntables in the game for $39.99.
Yeah, the fact that the turntable fits underneath my sofa works out pretty well.
Go Gamer is really taking it to task. You ready, PC gamers? I'm going to reward them. Alan Wake for 360 is $29.90. Splinter Cell Conviction $27.90. Red Dead Redemption $44.90. Metro 23, Michael.
23,
$19.90.
Not 24.
If you have a PS Triple and you want Lost Planet 2, Or Alpha Protocol. 1990.
Wow.
I think that's what Alpha Protocol
The
is.
year my girlfriend was born.
Well, I'll second that. Having reviewed it.
Oh, look at this. Wii deals. Are you ready for this?
No.
Red Steel 2, 1990.
Dude, that is a great price.
Well, you're talking about great price for Wii games that are great. Arcrise Fantasia, $29.90
Oh my
at
goodness.
GoGamer.com.
Make sure you go buy at least 3 copies of that. At
Tell
that
them
price.
TalkRadar sent you.
Tell
in any way you can.
TalkRadar told
We
you.
don't usually. I try to, but PC gamers get the shit into the stick. Their games are always cheaper already. But for the PC at GoGamer.com, Alien vs Predator 1990, Mass Effect 2 16.
Oh my gosh!
Damn. Section 8.
Go buy that now.
Section 8. $3.90.
Totally worth it.
$3.90
For $3, any game is worth $3
for the most
Not
part.
any game. Leisure Suit Larry box office bust is not worth $3.
That's worth $3.
Section 8 is fucking worth
Section 8 is kind of
okay,
fun.
yeah, it's
No,
worth $3.
I would
Fine.
say if they paid you $3
But-
in Leisure Suit Larry.
I could laugh at it for $3.
Section 8 is a pretty.
It's cool.
It's an underrated multiplayer
But
shooter.
it needs like 60 people.
Yeah, roughly that.
I mean,
But if you like multiplayer and you don't give a shit about single player, Section 8's fantastic. And you kind
$3.90.
of like the old Tribes games, then great for you.
That is cheaper than the half-price reduced version of...
fuck?
half price reduction of.
I can't believe they got that. I can't believe they got that name.
Half price reduction of fuck would be a terrible band name.
Afterburner Climax. I bought Afterburner Climax for $5, and I want my money back. Warehouse, FYE, and Radio Shack all seem to be letting go Muramasa at around $15.
It's really good.
You guys should get that. That is a fantastic game.
What other games do they make?
What, Ignition?
Yeah.
Nostalgia?
Arcrise Fantasia. That's what I was thinking of.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to say Deadly Premonition.
Deadly Premonition.
Fantastic.
Now available in Europe, motherfuckers.
Fantastic $20 game.
Cited at Sam's Club this week for the PS3. Bayonetta, $17.85.
Damn.
Pretty
Darksiders, $20 even. Dante's Inferno, $24 even.
It's your
Bioshock 2, $22.55. Heavy Rain, $39.91. Brutal Legend, $14.
Poor Brutal Legend.
Buy that.
Buy that.
Please do buy that.
Just buy it.
It's basically all the big shit from November through February. Now $20.
And
I
now
just applied a double fine. Please.
And now
buy
we
that.
get to Amazon.
They can afford to pay for me.
Amazon's usually ridiculous with their discounts, and this week they seem to be pointing their targets square at square. Final Fantasy 13 PS3 is $34. Final Fantasy 12 Revenant Wings DS is $24. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Echoes of Time Wii is $17. Final Fantasy 12 is $13. Final Fantasy 10 is $13.
Wow.
Final Fantasy PSP, I guess the first remake is $13. Final Fantasy 3 on DS is $14. Final Fantasy 11 Ultimate Collection 360.
No one cares.
$12.
No one cares.
That's $12 too much.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Say no one cares again?
No one cares.
Mass Effect 2, 360 and PS3 is $27. Now you know how it feels to like a game. And what? No?
You like that?
You know how it feels to like a game?
You like a game and have someone shit all over it when it goes on sale.
You like Final Fantasy 11?
I can't. Wow. Look at that.
Yeah.
Since when?
As the Michaels.
I don't know. I apparently just provided them with fodder that I'm not prepared to deal with. Let's game deals.
Take my advice, do as I say.
What are you
Save a little money.
We have
rainy derp.
We have game deals. What do we want to recap question of the week, or do you want to read some nice stuff from readers?
Let's do the question of the week, and then do the nice stuff, and then the new question of the week, I guess.
Okay.
And then the phone calls.
Sure.
Okay.
Phone calls are ready.
I'm going to be falling out of this chair at that point.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes. We have obligated ourselves to a weird experiment. Let's see if we make it. Last week's question of the week was, what fall 2010 game are you most looking forward to? I want somebody to guess what the number 2 game was out of all these.
Fallout New Vegas.
Mafia 2.
Both of you answered, and I have a buzzer somewhere. No, that was the reveal. One of you was right.
I would guess Fallout New Vegas.
You were both wrong for number 2.
Okay.
Number 2 is
Assassin's Creed Brotherhood?
Ooh, Elston.
What the fuck? That's a reasonable guess.
Ooh, Allison. No, it was Halo Reach.
Who cares?
Oh, right, yeah.
Halo Reach.
I'm kind of looking forward to
Tons
that.
of people care.
I care if it features pirate ships.
Pirate ships.
I want to care about Reach. I just like.
Blood Ocean
Actually,
is the way that I've heard it, but
Vegas.
yeah.
Fallout New Vegas was #1.
Really?
Yeah, more people on our site care about Fallout.
Care
New
about
Vegas.
the expansion starring Wayne Newton.
Yes.
The only
I know
thing that I have worries about is that it's done by Obsidian.
Yeah,
So it's just one of those things where it's just like, let's see, Alpha Protocol and
KOTOR 2. Like
they don't exactly have a good.
No,
Well, it's
it's
like
like they
they-
make good games but don't finish them.
They're good at making good games that are either unfinished or severely flawed in some way.
So I mean, so that's my specific worry about it.
That's a damn shame. Maybe this will be their fluke. Maybe this will be their first time they do something fantastic.
I am really hoping for that. But
I mean, Obsidian is Black Isle, right? I mean, they did Fallout 2. And
Sorry.
Speaking of
so
Obsidian,
forth.
I'd like to give a shout out on Twitter to Obsidian Chow, who just asked me to give him a shout out.
I felt that one way up here.
You're lucky that we just happened to be talking about Obsidian when I saw that.
Mm-hmm. I got new users. My kingdom for a pair of Lizzie's panties, said Force Unleashed.
Whoa.
Starship
Hello.
Pianist. LBP, Donkey Kong Country Returns, One Shot Finch, Castlevania Lords of Shadows, Altair. I'm doing new users and the games they said they were most looking forward to. Right. Sorry, everybody who's not a new user, I didn't read your response. Altair Fog said Halo Reach. There was.
Altair Fog said Halo Reach. What a fucking traitor!
Seriously, with Brotherhood coming out.
New user. Don't you hate when Brax come in store and not buy? Picture of Jackie Chan laughing.
Okay.
To drive this home, there you go. Said Valkyria Chronicles 2.
That comes out really soon.
White Power Pop. Sean White snowboarding or skateboarding. Colossuside, NBA Jam. Patiently waiting outside Lizzie's home in a windowless van.
Jesus Christ.
I feel really sorry for Lizzie right now.
Yeah, I know. Fallout New Vegas.
We do every time we read new.
The Goods
users.
also said Fallout New Vegas.
Sometimes I feel sorry for Chris.
Ender 42Y said The Sims on consoles. Weird. Chris Antista is the mother of my child. Civ 5. I cannot believe this name is available, said Fable 3. Scott Pilgrim said Scott Pilgrim.
What a show.
I'm after my own heart.
Bitch ass African Americans. Dance Central, Gangster Jew said Mafia 2 and Halo Reach. Jude 10 said Fallout New Vegas as well. Miranda Lawson is giving me a human blowjob and it feels great, said Mass Effect 2, Lair of the Shadow Broker DLC. Acid Dice said Halo Reach. Chris Antista's 2-inch penis said Donkey Kong's epic Mickey yarn returns other M. I agree with it. Lazimus Prime said F1 2010. Like it. New user Tit said Scott Pilgrim. Viper LS said Scott Pilgrim and Halo Reach and Sonic 4. Jared 886 said Reach, Civ 5, New Vegas. Rock TDar said New Vegas. My hand is like a shark's fin, said Fable 3. Genesis does what Antista can't, said Super Scribblenauts. Rock Band 3. God of War Ghosts of Sparta.
Ooh. Every time I hear that, I hear God of War goes to Sparta like an Ernest movie.
Goes on derp, but I don't want to go to Sparta.
Oh, where the heck? I don't know what.
Thrown into the wrong truck and taken to Sparta.
Off to Sparta, boy.
Evan Ski Chuck said Reach and Rock Band 3. System of a Clown said Reach and New Halo. Said Fallout Reach and Halo New Vegas. And last but certainly not least, super duper Xbox dick jizzing on a toddler while doing a handstand tista. Said any sort of new iPhone hentai game is okay with me.
Wow. Well, then.
I'm surprised that only 2 people mentioned it, but I'm glad people mentioned Civ 5 and Dance Central, because those are the 2 things that I'm most looking forward to.
A bunch of other people, I forgot to mention Vanquish. Vanquish is one of those games
I keep forgetting that's coming out.
I know, it's coming out.
Yeah, I mean,
October.
It's sort of the singularity type. Oh, that's coming out here.
I just want to point out John Dagger, who not a new user, but he's a newish user.
Sure.
Well, He says he has a love for crappy licensed games. One of them is Scooby-Doo and the Spooky Swamp, so that's awful. But the other one is Batman the Brave and the Bold, the video game, which is from Way Forward, who did Contra 4. And they're very big 2D connoisseurs, and I think the Batman Brave and the Bold game is actually going to be pretty good. So I know there's a tendency to look at that and go, it's based on a cartoon, licensed game's going to suck. But I think, I hope it's going to be pretty good. That's my hope. At the very least, I think it's going to look pretty.
Need something lighter? Is that what you're saying?
No, I need this.
Chris is switching back to Stella.
Sober up with this shitty beer.
My beer is too good for these people.
We're not used to beer this good.
Before we get into new question of the week, oh shit, I have a bunch of other stuff to read. I'm skipping streams.
Don't me to read any of them, Chris?
I haven't.
Okay,
I've been drinking a lot.
All right.
Let's see how this goes. Feel free to make fun of me. I'll get upset, but
I'm
I don't
just saying
mean
if you don't want to talk for like several minutes straight, we can trade off.
I don't mean it. I just finished listening to TDar 112 and was really interested in the message you read from Ziggs about his trouble with chronic fatigue syndrome.
Oh, yes.
Seriously, who else thinks they have that now?
I think pretty much all of us who ever exist.
I'm tired when I don't want to be.
The degree to which he described it, I do not feel like that's me.
Considering that I'm recently diagnosed as bipolar and have a lot of the same issues. Yeah,
everybody does. All humans are compelled to not want to do shit they don't want to do.
Well, yeah, but
I'm not with being tired.
I'm not trying to diminish the disease. The syndrome.
The alien syndrome?
But I don't know how to tell the difference because I definitely don't want to do... I love my job and then I hate doing stuff. You have to write about Scott Pilgrim. Man!
You don't have to write about Scott Pilgrim.
What, did I draw the short straw? God! I love this property in the game.
I also did not say you have to write about Scott Pilgrim.
No, I'm just saying, like I complain about shit that I wouldn't have complained about from afar.
True.
Yes, I have a lucky job because Silly Pigeon was diagnosed with CFS way back in 1998, before it was cool, and I've seldom come across other people with it. I felt compelled to get in touch, as hearing his story brought back a lot of shitty memories for me. I was 12 when I was diagnosed, and back then it was virtually unknown as a condition. I was fortunate that my local GP had recently read a medical journal about CFS when I started showing symptoms, but we still all had to put up with specialists, in quotations, that were convinced I was faking it. Is there a dog somewhere?
There's a dog
here somewhere.
There's a dog in the building somewhere.
Look, you're doing it again, Nelson. Just unplug the carbon monoxide.
Oh, fuck, it's that thing again. The dog monoxide.
Did Lizzie leave Malkin here or something?
Anyway, it changed everything for me. I couldn't attend school, and I lost touch with all but one of my friends. I also couldn't play football anymore, which is basically my whole life. Thank God for video games. CFS is really fucking rough, and frankly, it's a condition that doesn't get treated with enough respect. There is no cure. There are treatments, but unless you're lucky, you basically just have to wait and hope it goes away, or in my case, gets to a manageable level. I never fully recovered and have had to learn to live with it. In fact, I spent a majority of my life with it, and some other related medical problems 5 years ago that really made me hit rock bottom. But it forced me to ask for help. And after a lot of counseling, I started to get my life pointed in the right direction, and I started to go to college. I believe in the U.S. you call it community college. I found I could manage being in class most of the day. It'd just be fucked and exhausted when I got home. After doing that for 2 years, I was qualified for my third year semester. I found sorry, buddy. My story is rather long, so I don't expect this to be read on the show. Whoopsie-daisy. But perhaps you could forward it to Ziggs and let... Oh, this is private. Let him know that someone else has been through it, and I'm glad he is improving and found something to keep him smiling. Thank you for making me laugh every day. P.S. What was your well? Who said well?
Oh, I was going to say, well...
Go for it, Elston.
Maybe it's better that it's out in the open, because now the other guy can commiserate via the podcast.
That's true.
And now everyone has this... We all have this connection with this story.
It's the only reason I said...
Heart sign.
See, we care. We care. I like those other podcasts that don't care.
P.S. Bring back the Bernie Mac Def Jam music. It makes anything that has been said funny.
Yeah, man, where'd this bass come from? Shit.
Woohoo! This is a fantastic story I'm going to pass downstairs to our old pals Gary Steinem, Roger Burchill, Greg Orlando, Scott Butterworth, and Ken.
Oh,
Ken,
Scotty.
Why does his last name escape me?
I don't know.
Kent.
Bousquet.
That's why, because I couldn't pronounce it.
At P-Tom.
Sir Sodomite.
I'm embarrassed. I've never actually asked him how it's pronounced.
Sir Sodomite said, I just wanted to thank you and your lovely podcast for your contribution. You guys have made me and one of my friends' lives. Let me tell you a story. I've been working as a busser on the weekends at a breakfast restaurant for about 3 months now, and every single weekend since I've been there, I've seen a man come in and order coffee. That's normal. He's one of the regulars. A couple weekends ago, I saw him sitting at the table reading an issue of P-Tom. This was unusual because he was an old guy. I'd guess between 60 and 65. I asked him if he played any games, and it turns out that he owned an arcade until it had gone bankrupt in 1996.
Really?
Very sad. Very sad.
Sad face.
He had kept playing games until his wife died in 2005. But past that, it was too painful for him because he used to play with her. He still liked to catch up on the latest news about games, though. Hence the issue of P-Tom. I told him that I love games, and we talked for a while about them until TalkRadar came up in conversation.
Really?
I convinced him to download a few episodes and see what he thought. A week later, he came to the restaurant and told me he absolutely loved the show, and he had listened to more than 10 episodes in a week's time.
Nice.
Parentheses, he's retired. He then told me that your guys' goofy stories and obvious love of gaming had made him want to get into it again, and so that next week he went out and bought an Xbox and like 12 games. He came in that day to tell me about it, and we sat and talked about all the ins and outs of the show for hours until my boss threatened to fire me if I didn't start working. So I just wanted you to know that TalkRadar, that you and everyone on TalkRadar for helping an old man start doing what he loves again.
Aww.
Thank you, Juice and Sir Sodomite.
That was awesome.
That
was a lovely story.
It's a lovely story.
See, I keep hearing these tales of people like who and two random people brought up TalkRadar independently of each other, and I'm like, I see the numbers, and that's statistically impossible.
That's my favorite when like some guy pulls up to another one TalkRadar. You know it that should never happen.
That should mathematically impossible, but yet it has happened.
Like The Office is watched by 6 million people, and like the odds of someone like Dwight Schrute like that for no reason could never happen. And there's a tons of TalkRadar stories like that.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll give them a reason.
Yeah, I mean there was something on Twitter where someone was saying that they
Pizza Guy came.
Pizza Guy. That happened to me too.
Oh wow, that's right.
Yeah. No, but I didn't even tweet about it. I was just like, is that TalkRadar? Yes. Cool.
What the fuck?
It's like, how do you know? Wait, you're leaving. Fuck.
Yeah, like really, oh god, the more you comment on that page, the more we get a sign that it's worth killing ourselves every week.
I'm going to do my damnedest to get TalkRadar shirts out there to the public, even if that means I have to profit off them myself directly. I will make this happen. I will make this happen.
Bravo, sir. Your sacrifices to be applauded.
Yes.
The TalkRadar print thing just ended.
Oh, yes, the print ad
Wednesday.
contest, the TalkRadar print ad ended this week.
So good.
I had an idea for it. I just couldn't render it fast enough.
We have
because I was doing this 3D model and it just was just like it wasn't coming along the way that I wanted. I just couldn't do it.
Oh. Well, even though the deadline was today, that doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter. Keep it coming.
It only matters because there's a deadline for which it can be implemented into the magazines because they have a schedule 2 months ahead of time. We do have our entries. We got to pick a winner. Tomorrow was just Thursday, so yesterday, if you're listening to this now, we'll have all decided what the winner is. There's several really good ones, and we'll have to figure that out. But one of those will be in a magazine, P-Tom and OXM, which is really cool. I'm going to try to figure out if we can have a winner who we declare the winner. They get in the first one, in the November issue, but then we could also maybe do
revolve around.
Yeah, just rotate them. Like maybe the next month we do another one, and we'll probably have Cheryl do a art pass on some of them to clean them up. And
she's good.
She's very good, and maybe because some of the fonts and the spacing aren't quite right for a magazine ad, but we'll just clean them up.
Have you heard her do the Arkwright Fantasia reads?
Yes, I have.
Oh my God, it's beautiful.
What?
Cheryl's voice is fantastic.
Really?
She's doing all our reads from here on out.
Wait, is she doing in the breaks or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the?
Yeah.
You should actually listen to your podcast.
I did.
When?
I listened to the third segment.
All right. Juice and Pancakes writes to me, and I hope Ignition is listening. Dearest Chris, I know you get a lot of messages about level of hardship, and hopefully you'll reach the level of praise that other messages do. I essentially had terrible colon and intestinal problems throughout my 4 years of high school.
Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, look. This is not to be joked about. This is an ailment. I'm just kidding. Everybody laughed. Everybody is okay to laugh.
Everybody's fine again.
No. Wait. This gets serious. Basically, taking tests, having surgeries, getting treatment, and any other thing that needed to be done to my ass. Colon problems tend to lend themselves to a lot of things being stuffed up your butt. How does that feel, you ask? Well, remember the feature game levels that look like anuses? Well, I believe it's a Gears of War level in which you shot the anus-looking object to open it. That's how it felt.
Oh my God!
A steroidal soldier shooting my ass with a chainsaw assault rifle.
I'm sorry, man.
Here's where it gets really funny. I never graduated from high school due to the fact that I simply could not attend because of my crippling problems.
Aww. See, that's not funny.
Think of any
you're misleading us. Yeah.
What? I'm not doing that. Does it? Think of any health issue you could encounter with your intestines, and I've probably experienced. I got my GED and am currently in my second-ish year of college, and everything is currently fine. None of the diseases or disorders were ever truly life-threatening, but it was still an extremely rough time in my life. When parentheses, one of the disorders is called dyssynergenic defection. Does that not sound like the greatest rock band of all time?
Sounds like when a marketing campaign fails.
Yeah. Dyssynergenic defection coming to Houston.
The Midnight Riders.
Yeah. Oh, and I also have an allergy to milk and egg that makes everything exponentially worse. If I have a burger in which the bun has one milk ingredient, then it is time to visit Diarrhea and Vomit City.
Oh, never go there.
Oh, God.
You know what you're getting when you get there.
Seriously. If you live there, you'd be home right now. I obviously didn't have anything.
Diarrhea City.
I obviously didn't have anything to add. I don't know why I said it.
What the hell the city council up in Diarrhea City? I'll tell you what.
I will not let...
Who runs for mayor in Diarrhea Town?
It's Diarrhea County. This is not what you're thinking
County,
of.
Okay.
A lot of people run for mayor there.
I only mention this because if you were to genuinely smell like pizza, Chris Antista, I would badly want to eat you because I haven't tasted pizza in 6 years.
Oh my God! Poor
that
guy.
is a sad thing.
There are vegan crusts you can get that have no milk ingredients.
Yeah, gluten-free and shit like that.
Gluten-free.
And then there's
gluten-free that tastes like a fucking crumbly cracker made of paper.
You would know.
Whatever, man. I only use soy milk in everything I make.
I'll find the name of the crust that Caroline and I eat because she's like strict vegan, and the crust is really good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I'll figure out what crust it is and share that information.
But I fought through it all, knowing that there's some sort of light at the end of the tunnel. It's some sort of light at the end of the rectum. I'm gonna clip that a little closer. And it was one on the way of the treatments in Ohio, which is about a 6-hour drive from where I live. That I downloaded a shitload of video game podcasts to listen to out of 16. Parentheses 16. Only one was worth listening to for more than 10 minutes.
Wow.
The glorious TalkRadar. I've listened to them all, love them all, and continue to try and get my friends into it. I insisted that my brother, who commutes an hour and a half both ways to work every day to listen, I started him off with a Christmas special, somewhat of a best of episode, and he loved it.
The last year's Christmas special is very good.
He has since been listening to them all and loving them just as much as I. He recently got a huge promotion that involves a substantial raise. He was ecstatic about it, and he wanted to share his happiness with me. So what did he bring me the other day as a present? Anybody want to guess?
Arc-Rise Fantasia?
Arc-Rise Fantasia?
It is Arc-Rise Fantasia, exclusively on Wii. Yes, the official sponsor of the official podcast of the official side of the internet. His words, not mine. Keep in mind that we do not have a Wii and will never be able to play the game. I told him he could have just bought me a Games Ordered T-shirt from the site store, to which he replied, "Yeah, but this is a lot funnier." So there you go. Arc-Rise Fantasia has at least one sale.
Wow.
That it wouldn't have had if it weren't advertised in TalkRadar. I truly apologize for the length of this, but
how did they send this to you?
I consider writing to you guys every single day, and I always decide against it because it would never be read. Blah blah blah. And
just like you're not reading it now.
Every single human being in Horse God, I love you, Buttercup at GR is talented, funny, insightful, and most importantly, a good person. You guys are great, and you will never ever go unappreciated. If there's actually, if you've actually made it to the end of this message, congratulations, you get a cookie.
Yay!
Booyah!
Who was that again?
Who was that?
That was Juice and Pancakes, I believe.
All right, Juice and Pancakes.
Juice and Pancakes.
Woohoo! Thank you, sir.
It's like incense and peppermints, but less threatening.
Juice and Pancakes.
Plus, we got a cookie.
Can we pause for a piss? I'm about to pop.
Only if we can pause for a piss.
And pancakes.
Can I come with you?
Can go with me.
Okay.
Yeah. I need you to hold it.
Ladies and gentlemen, if this mic is still working, we're about to hear Brett Elston piss. This is going to happen. The words. I just wanted to see if specific sound.
Well, there's a good point that was brought up. How do the urinal designers test for splashback? Like, do they have people piss at it from various angles for maximum, efficiency? And
It's still working. I was showing Michael earlier at that urinal he's at right now. Hold on. No, it was the pubic hair on top of the toilet frame, and it was the longest pubic hair I've ever seen in my entire life. As if someone had been growing it out their whole life and combing it back, and it somehow ended up 8 feet in the fucking air. Pubic hair! Alright, cut to the rest of the podcast if we're actually picking this up.
Commenter just threw me for a loop here.
What?
Captain Commando. I really enjoyed this article, but I don't know why Michael had to be such an asshole the whole time.
None of us do. None of us do.
Do I really come off as an asshole?
All the time.
I'm sorry.
Every day.
Oh.
Every second.
I don't want to.
I never see that.
I did want to, like, when you aim me, okay, in all caps.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Does that mean you're yelling at me?
No.
Or does that, I like, wait a minute, it could be just Michael, like, I'm not spelling okay. I'm using the abbreviation.
Yeah, technically.
And I use all caps when I use
technically, when he's doing
abbreviations.
that, when you use the abbreviation, you're supposed to be involved.
It's just supposed to be okay. The letter's okay.
That just occurred to me, but it usually looks like, yeah, you want to do this? You want to do this? Okay, and that's the last thing you ever. That's the last thing you ever see.
No, I know what you mean, because I get that too, and I'm like, fine,
really,
fine,
yes.
okay,
yes, no, it
Oh
just
my
occurred to
God.
me today. Michael is being grammar Nazi.
You might want to actually start lowercasing the K and using the A.
Yeah,
this is like a revelation.
It looks less abrasive.
Well, then when Henry just says K, I'm like, show some fucking respect, buddy.
You might want to actually use the full word.
I want to say okayed, buddy, not just.
Not even. I know Eric has told me a couple times, like, "Wow, that email came off as really mean." I'm like, really? But I'm not trying to be an asshole.
Did you use okays as periods? That'll do it. Capitalized okays as periods.
You're bad at this.
See, the two Michaels here, we have the same issue where we come off as assholes sometimes because we use full words and full sentences when people aren't expecting us to.
Pretentiousness.
Like cannot.
Like it cannot.
Cannot. You cannot do this.
You cannot do this.
Yes. And it's not intentional whatsoever.
Every time I write though, it's it's protected by a barrier of parentheses and commas.
That's just how I write. I'm sorry.
I know.
I write like a fucking asshole.
It's grammar.
I know.
Oh wait, we were back in TalkRadar.
Segment 4 now.
Hey, everybody!
Unexpectedly, segment 4.
Guess what? Speaking of clever, appropriate editing,
thanks to alcohol.
Phone calls are in fact ready.
Are we doing the question of the week, or are we doing phone calls first?
I don't know.
Let's do phone calls.
What the fuck do you want to do?
Well, we
is that important after the sound effect for you to do question of the week?
No, let's phone calls. Phone calls are ready.
Phone calls are ready.
Finish the idea.
Not here, man.
Hi, TalkRadar. It's 4:12 a.m. here in Canada.
Yo, 8 minutes.
TalkRadar 113. And I just realized that most of your callers may be Canadian. I don't know, because in TalkRadar 113, someone called in and talked about Boxing Day, to which you guys replied, "Oh, you must be from Canada." And then there was my call, which was the Punch-Out music question. And then the next call was someone from Canada. So I don't know, maybe no.
I'm just glad my calls haven't been broadcasted yet.
It's more than likely a conspiracy.
Look, if all you Canadians could fly down to Washington State and go to PAX and make us feel important, that would be lovely.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a huge drive.
If you're in the Victoria area, I went there. It was gorgeous. Please repay the favor by going to PAX.
More phone calls.
Victoria and Vancouver are both lovely places.
I love it. So cool.
We've got a couple of Canadian enforcers. If you need to know about them, I can let you know.
Everyone was so nice. It was unbelievable. Comic book stores out the ass. It was great. What a country.
Heavy breathing.
Darth Vader.
Right.
This is the sound of our rapist. I shouldn't say that word.
Die, All right. That was whoever that was.
K.O. Can Kid from the TalkRadar forums.
Who?
My question is a rather controversial one about multi-platform games. I know they've improved greatly since the 2007 and all that, but I still think they still end up better on 360, and that kind of bugs me. I know it shouldn't. People say, no, they're pretty much the same. But honestly, they're not, because I go on comparison sites all the time and notice the 360 is better in certain key areas. And it kind of bugs me because PS3 was kind of touted to be something really, really powerful and overall better. So maybe if you can give me your thoughts on the subject, it'd be great. All right, later.
Can I do this super fast?
Sure.
No, it's not that they're better. It's that the 360 was originally, until very recently, the lead console, meaning they designed for it first and then ported it to PS3.
Right.
On another end, your Xbox Live subscription pays for the infrastructure, whereas it doesn't on the other end. That specific game maker has to pay for the servers and the upkeep and all that other shit.
For I think he's talking about shit like, like the PS3 version isn't true 1080p.
Or they take a look at the Red Dead Redemption, wherein the shadows don't necessarily always appear on the PS3 version, while they do always on the 360.
It's one of those things where it's like, I understand you want to get the best version, but ask yourself, how much does that actually factor into your enjoyment of the game? Like, how much are you going to actually notice that as it's going by at
none of this
speed?
should actually bother
something
you.
like shadows, I would actually notice.
Yeah?
If it were pointed out,
but
I'd be
I
like,
have
what
a
the hell?
360, and I played it on 360, and all the shadows in every single Rockstar game look ridiculous. I don't care. Like,
But there
if
is
they
a
don't appear, it's probably better for
There
the
is
game.
a principle of it, though, where you're like, well, I paid $60
I know,
for
I
it, and there
understand
was
that.
clearly a little less effort put into this.
Yeah, I have the major problem where I just don't feel like I can actually buy a. If it's a multi-platform thing, for some reason, it's unless it's
I think the 360 was the lead platform. It was designed with that in mind and ported to PS3. That's no longer the case anymore.
I mean, I have that same problem where, like, I have to play a game on 360, otherwise but that's partly because of the whole live thing. That live was there first, and live.
It's just that I can.
They kicked it off
compare
well.
progress easier with you.
Yes,
and Michael.
Like, I
and
can compare achievements, but now PSN is caught up in a lot of ways. The trophies are implemented the same way. The friends lists are just as easy to track as they are on 360 now. The only problem is that 360 had like a year head start on them. More like a 2-year head start, really.
Yeah.
And that's the only problem. If they had both come out of the gate even, this wouldn't be an issue. But, like, there are also some games, like Final Fantasy 13, fuck you, I played that on PS3.
Yes,
I
same
couldn't
here.
do that on 360. For no reason.
Yeah,
There's no progress to look at.
Even though I couldn't stand Final Fantasy 13, I still picked it up for PS3 specifically because
it just feels wrong. It just feels right to play
exactly.
it there. And I played through all Transformers War for Cybertron on PS3, and that was the first time I felt myself breaking free of that I have to play it on 360 or it doesn't count kind of thing.
It doesn't count to my overall game.
Yeah, because then I was like, well, I'm going to get these trophies in PS3 version. It was the same experience.
It's majorly for me. It's a gamer score thing. Also, it's the controller.
Yeah, I do.
I am now so very used.
In that
to
case, I would recommend
controller.
Final Fantasy 13 to everybody on a PS3. Do not get it on a 360.
Yeah, seriously.
Period.
I mean,
not for the
I
load
didn't even
times, not for
consider
the 3 discs, but only for the controller.
Yeah.
You need a competent D-pad.
Yep.
And 360 is not up to the task. Having played the whole game for 60 hours, did not work.
I had a friend recently who hacked apart his 360 controller specifically so that he could get better responsiveness out of it, and more power to him. But still, nevertheless, I'm not that competent with the technology.
Not everybody should have to do that,
and no one should really have to do that. So I mean, if you want a competent D-pad, you definitely need to go with a PS3. So that's where
I played Mega Man 10 on PS3 because I'm not fucking.
Maybe they could just make like a nunchuck
Blazblue.
attachment for the Street Fighter pads.
I bet the Street Fighter pads work okay.
Yeah, probably. Except there's no analog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. I picked up a Street Fighter pad specifically because I play BlazBlue and I play Street Fighter 4 on the PS3 because I wanted to.
No, those Mad Catz pads are really good.
Yeah, first off, I tried playing it on the 360 because that's what I had. I didn't have a PS3 at the time, and I tried the joystick. I couldn't get into the joystick, but now that I've got the pad, I'm feeling much better with it. Yeah.
Can I get a next phone call? Next phone call.
Hey guys, it's Al Jolson from the forums calling in. I want to just let you guys know that you are fucking awesome, and that I just listened to TDar 100 in one fucking sitting. Took me from South Carolina to Fredericksburg, Virginia. I'm fairly certain that if I didn't have that podcast to keep you mute, I would have blown my brains out. Mammy.
I did the 100 podcasts in one sitting several times.
Doesn't matter. Anything you've ever done to listen to the 6-hour podcast, I edited it in one day. So shut up. Like, it was miserable. It's miserable, and it hurt really bad. And I was in Vancouver doing it with my fucking touchpad mouse and a pair of iPod headphones. It hurt very bad.
Sir, I salute you.
This is a 5-second phone call. I have one of those already,
sir. Someone butt dialed us.
Yeah. That's not what need your help, man.
That's not what the hotline is for, but kind of is.
Do not misuse.
This is what's my name in the forums?
Chris Cooper?
TDar Listener 100. Okay. I don't even care about Chris Antista calling me a dumbass on the hotline at the start of it.
What?
It's my birthday.
Oh,
You guys are the first people I plan to call. I just want to say I love the podcast.
Did you like it?
Keep it up. Yeah. Catch you later, broskies.
Happy belated birthday.
Appreciate it.
Did you call this guy an
I don't
whatever
think
the
I
hell?
did. That
I've already
doesn't seem like
forgotten what the
anything
insult was.
I would ever do.
Dumbass?
Next phone call.
What's up, Ryan and Andy? Give a tag the Tide Piper. Had a question about Xbox Live service. Oh, wait. This is TalkRadar?
Yeah.
Shit.
Another one.
What do you? Love the podcast. You guys make my Mondays bearable. I like to listen to your podcast on Mondays, and it's great. I love Mondays now. Take it easy. Peace.
Thank you, Muffin.
Snake in my boots. You gotta commit. Finish
wrong.
the
I know.
Hey, TalkRadar crew. This is Trone, also known as Deloney from the forums, or Anamanaguchi Icon.
Oh, Anamanaguchi X.
For Michael, I've been looking at a lot of videos for Mafia 2. Looks pretty interesting. I want to ask him, is that open world on par with Liberty City? Is it better? Is it worse? Is it meh? What are your opinions on it?
Your Michael
that's
question.
all. Keep up a great podcast. Love it to death. Keeps me.
Is the open world Mafia 2 on par with Liberty City?
I heard the question.
Excuse the fuck out of me. Excuse the fuck out of me. You were looking at the air like you wanted an angel to come down and give you the answer.
I can't believe you
just wanted to repeat it.
I can't believe you stood up to say that.
I tell you what, let's all not talk while Michael doesn't answer.
Just put the gun away.
I see.
All right, you don't need to wave that around. Stop pointing it at your dick for 5 seconds, and I'll answer the fucking question.
Not the right one.
Fuck that game and it's stupid.
I didn't say that.
Oh god. So yeah, Mafia 2. Wow, that's I think they've done a really good job.
I'm bored.
Okay, sorry. I think they're doing a really good job of recreating a sort of 40s, 50s city that looks sort of like New York. There's a lot of scripted stuff going on around. Yeah, I don't know that I'd really say it's necessarily better than Liberty City. You know, Liberty City felt more like a living, breathing place than Mafia 2. Mafia 2 is more about the story. So
is it better than Godfather 2?
I can tell I'm boring the shit out of everybody here. So,
well, Mafia 2 is one of the.
Is it better than The Godfather?
Yes.
Okay, that sells me.
Mafia 2
I bought The Godfather twice.
It's one of the 3 notable releases this
Godfather
month.
Godfather 1 or Godfather 2?
Very true.
Okay, yeah, Godfather 1 was pretty good.
Yeah.
2 I could take or leave.
I actually don't understand what Mafia 2 is. Is it anything like a sandbox, or is it just kind of a linear progression through a city that happens to look like it's
a
open
modern
world?
sandbox?
It's both of those things. It's very focused on missions. When I've played, there hasn't been a whole lot to do that you can do between missions. It's basically just like divided into chapters where you have to do a certain thing. Maybe there's like a side thing that you can do within that chapter. Like,
right.
You know, in the first chapter, there's you're walking to meet a friend and you find like a couple arguing next to a car and it's broken down and you can go fix the car and.
That sounds great.
Or
am I really that boring?
No.
Or you can find Nolan North, talking with Nolan North, and you can go try and retrieve his car.
Things like that, yeah.
Well, I'm finally playing BioShock 2, and it sounds kind of like how that game is compartmentalized into, even though it all takes place in Rapture.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is one. It is one big. Mafia 2 is one big continuous world. You can go anywhere at pretty much any time.
Oh, okay.
But it's just that there's not really generally a reason to, unless it's mission related.
You're just fucking drunk pushing
I'm
buttons.
fucking hammered. Can we just go home? Oh my God!
You're the one who wanted me to answer the question.
I know. 2 more phone calls. We'll answer
Drone.
2 weeks from now when we talk about Mafia 2.
Hey, TalkRadar, this is Shipment and Syndicate.
This is not happening!
Since you guys always ask if we're ready for some football, Bonesaw is ready.
Bonesaw is ready.
I never thought of combining the two.
That's it.
Wait a
Are
minute.
you ready for some football?
Wait a minute. Let me see if I can.
It's just like you gotta strain to the point of passing out.
Are you ready?
Is Randy Savage taking like a massive dump or something?
Yes, all the time.
Oh,
Yeah. I was not happy with my Boneswa impression last week.
Dude, last week that thing was hilarious.
Apparently, my impression sounded like, what was it, like Grover?
That was amazing. Super Grover. Super Grover. Not just any Grover. This is the one with super
I had
powers.
like 2 different friends compliment you on that. On the it wasn't Boneswa, it was just Macho Man last week. Because Boneswa has a French word.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Punctuating.
I was just talking about candy bars.
Yes. Well, you said you're going to break you in half like a Twix bar. And my favorite was, I'm going to split you into 4 butt cheeks and fuck you in the middle of all 4 of them.
It really is. It really is twice the rape. If you think about it.
Shut the fuck
What's up, guys? Nick from Alabama. Better known as Nick says what's up in the forums.
It's a female.
And I just like to say
It's a baby.
these 30-second messages are really annoying.
Oh, well.
Anyway, I'm probably the youngest person listening. I've listened since 1, and I was 10. That's right.
Whoa.
I'm a meager 12 now.
What the?
Just so you know, you guys are awesome. Thanks for everything.
Well,
You should not be listening to this.
Look, if you
we
want
can't
to
swear in front of 12-year-olds.
if you wanna-
Everybody clean up your act.
I can't say anything else, but if you want to PM me in the forums and just get together and talk about it,
You don't need to tell the FBI.
No.
It's just the 2 of us. We don't need a third party.
In fact, don't find it odd if I ask you if you are every time we have a conversation.
I just want to talk about Ruby Starfire.
No. I just want to talk about bathrobes.
No, you want to talk about Arkwright's Fantasia.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Fantasia.
That kid was so young. I cannot believe.
Was there a question there?
Closest thing I had to a young sound effect is a chimpanzee.
It's like a young human.
Can we go home? Can we go home?
We haven't done question of the week, Chris.
No, Jesus Christ. Question of the week. Fast.
Question of the week in GameStar.com/forums. It's a wasteland.
It left to ruin.
Wasteland.
Hopefully that'll
Ruin. There's no
what that
forums
is.
tab on the site, sadly. So
No,
those of you who are sticking with it, I fucking applaud all of you.
stick with it. God damn it.
I love everyone. Like every time I open up
It's
the
not like a
forums,
decision by the company like we don't want to do forums. It's
just
like
weird.
the design team who design like, oh yeah, you guys have a forums.
Right,
Like,
they just
fucking
don't-
forgot.
Yeah, they just forgot.
They forgot.
So, hats off to everyone who's still using the forums. But if you're listening, please go to GameStar.com/forums.
Oh, and I'll read any name that's new next week in this thread. Anyone, any name.
You're a
I'm gonna
total
make
name
several.
slut.
Yeah,
That's-
name slut.
That is
name slut.
wow.
I am a name dumpster.
I am making several new ones. just
That
for
is
this.
some hoe-ass shit.
That is some perfect hoe shit, man.
So this week's question of the week, based off, are you ready? Are you ready for some football?
Yeah.
I felt that one way up here.
I didn't have it ready.
You didn't have it ready?
No.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
I guess.
I promise. I was told it's in the game.
This piece of paper says it's in the game.
If the press release says
If
so.
it's in the game, do I really have to say it? I'm John Madden.
It's Bill Cosby.
I guess so. It is. Pokemon. God, this beer is too potent. Let's go.
Wow.
Let's go.
This week's question of the week is okay.
Flip it in the bop.
Serious face.
I am so happy
Serious
right
face.
now.
As much as you don't want to relate to this, what is your favorite sports game?
I got one.
Surely there's one in your life that you were like, you know what, that was all right.
Blades of Steel. It had a fighting game before there were fighting games.
Oh yeah, it was punch.
That's
punch,
right.
punch.
And there's a fucking Gradius game in there too
Oh.
during halftime. Blades of Steel. Kick some anus.
Mine would obviously be Mutant League Football.
Boo.
That's really is the reason I know any of the rules to football. Was playing.
Wow.
Like I had no clue what football meant prior to 92 or 93 when I was playing that. And a friend and I just played it relentlessly. And that's where I learned first down, and touchdown, and field goals, offsides, and icing, all that shit. Like that's where I learned
Icing.
Yeah, that was a hockey joke.
Or a baking joke.
Yes. Thank God the bakers got the joke.
Yeah, it's true.
But
Michael or Michael, I want you to go at the same time.
Well, also,
You go ahead.
also
No,
the
you
original
first.
NFL
No, you.
Blitz was hugely fun.
It was very good.
But that was several years later.
It's
so
not better than NBA Jam.
Mutant League Football. I did play a lot of NBA Jam, but Mutant League Football.
Question was favorite sports game?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to say MLB 2001 for the Dreamcast.
Really?
Just because that was the only one I ever really played, and played it with Diana. This is the embarrassing part. My girlfriend, now wife, actually had to teach me how to play the sports games because I did not know shit about the sports, and she didn't know shit about the video games, but she knew about the sports.
Wow.
And
So this is a bonding experience you're talking about.
yeah, it kind of is. And we found out that it was possible to steal bases constantly. Even when it should not be allowed under any circumstances. Just constantly stealing bases from each other. So
Nice.
That was the last year I played a real baseball game. Who made that?
I believe that was 2K Sports.
Was this 2K?
Which was Sega Sports at the time.
Yeah.
Who did Triple Play?
EA, I thought.
EA?
Or, oh, geez, I don't know.
I don't remember. That's not Triple Play.
Or EA might have been High Heat Baseball.
Yeah, but that was like, I think that was also like the first sports game I ever reviewed. So, yeah, that counts for something.
Also, if I may, Mega Man Soccer. I played a lot of Mega Man Soccer.
Now, I've played a lot more sports games than I'm sure anyone else here in this room has.
Probably.
I mean, so Mutant League Football, Mutant League Hockey.
RBI 3. That's what I'm saying.
Didn't play that because I think that's a...
It's an unlicensed game. So
but it's, it's a
yeah.
Nintendo game. I didn't have
what?
a Nintendo system until the DS.
Oh.
But I have to say that the sports game that I love the most has to be Arnold Palmer Golf.
Wow.
For the Genesis.
Really?
Because it was the first golf game for the Genesis, and
it was really boring.
It was also a game that my parents and I played together relentlessly. And so this is basically it was one of the few games period that I could get my mother and my father involved in.
With no waggle?
With no waggle.
How is that even possible?
I don't know.
Everything I've been told today requires waggle.
I don't know, but they have a Wii now.
Oh.
They did?
But no. Yeah.
Pick up your headphones, hon. No, we just gotta get through this.
No, so I mean, this is seriously, it was just this was basically for my parents. It was the system seller because I want a Genesis. They're like, okay, we can. Eventually, they got me the Genesis, but because they could get Arnold Palmer Golf, so they could play with me.
I get this.
So yeah, that was the thing.
I understand.
Yes, I understand.
I understand.
I'm glad you do.
I love my son again for the first time in 10 years.
And it's kind of hard. I played a lot of different games with my father, but I wasn't able to really play much with my mother. So this is the only game that my mother ever really played with me.
There's only one game I play with my mother, and that's the game of sex.
Wow. Just cutting straight to the joke. The joke is motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
Arkwright.
I was playing the same game too.
Let's say goodbye. I do want to thank, in all seriousness, Arkwright's Fantasia for sponsoring this fucking horseshit. This absolute horseshit. They took a chance. Whatever.
Yeah,
if it never works out again, we never get another cent. Fine.
I'm sure,
I never saw any of it.
I'm sure the execs are looking back at this going, what the fuck?
What were we thinking?
Yes, only in Japanese.
Look.
All you gotta do.
Okay, imagine that everything we say, the words we're putting in their mouths are in those funny little brackets from Marvel Comics.
Yeah.
It's every time it's in a foreign language.
It's got a fucking
English
greater
brackets.
than, less than around everything we say.
Yeah.
Everything I say,
carrots, I think they're called.
I want it to be
Maybe
in
not.
the yellow bubble. I'm sorry, I'm ruining the conversation. Let's go home.
I would like to tease this time next week, Games at our 24-hour marathon will be going on.
Oh yeah. God.
Shit, yeah. We will be staying here for 24 hours. Go to GamesRadar.com/24hour, not 24 hours.
August 20th?
August 20th. Go to GamesRadar.com/24hour, not hours.
Well, you have beer for it.
We'll have beer up to a certain point.
Okay, we wanted beer sponsors.
Yeah. How badly do we want to fall asleep during this?
That's the thing. Is
I won't fall asleep if there's alcohol. Not this alcohol here. beer.
I'm gonna say there's a point where you drink through that, and then you have to switch to like something else because the beer will just comatize you. Yeah.
The Stella that you guys are drinking through.
I like to drink as a substitute cocaine. Cocaine. I drink it with my face.
Hell of a drug.
But real quick, our schedule for the 24-hour marathon. Briefly, I'll just run through it real quick. It starts at 5 p.m. Pacific. The gamer tags you'll want to do for Xbox are Games Radar Team, Games Radar US, Games Radar US 2, Games Radar Core, TalkRadar space GR, and then GR space Buttercup. I have no idea how many of those will be active at any time, but that's the 360 generally what's going on.
Delete some people.
You have to follow on Twitter and add them as friends. PlayStation IDs, Games Radar 1, 2, 3, and 4. All those intercapped, capital G, capital R. Follow Games Radar on Twitter, and all of us, Brelston, Micropars, Cantista, will be tweeting like what we're playing, what we're doing. But the schedule, 5 p.m. Pacific, Super Street Fighter 4 / Modern Warfare 2 will be going on at the same time to kick it all off from 5 to 7. We'll also be live streaming the entire time. I've actually figured out a way with Joe, our video guy. He helped figure out a way that we can have a camera tethered to a cable, such that we can live stream with a camera and then take that camera around the office on the cable and do a live kind of tour of the office.
God, it's like living in 2001 all over again.
I know.
I'm loving Joe.
It's really low rent, but it should work. It'll be pretty cool. So we'll be live streaming the Super Street Fighter 4 matches at the time, but also playing Modern Warfare 2 from 5 to 7. 7 to 9 is Red Dead Redemption for PS3 360. And then also 7 p.m. is when Tyler and, well, Matt Keast won't be here, but Tyler Nagata is going to kick off our StarCraft 2 for PC. 9 p.m. to 11 is Halo 3 on 360 and Uncharted on PS3, the two console exclusives. 11 to 1 is Bioshock 2 on both consoles. 1 to 3 is Left 4 Dead on 360 PS3. I don't know what the PS3 people will be doing from that time period, but we'll figure something out. Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, that's an idea.
For sure. 3 to 7 is literally a free-for-all. We'll play whatever floats their boats. I might go back to Street Fighter, play some Scott Pilgrim, kind of whatever.
Crashers.
It's also when we'll take our potential, we'll trade off sleeping breaks of a couple hours each.
Never.
7 to 9, we'll do it again. Super Street Fighter 4 with Modern Warfare 2 also, PS3 360. 9 to 11 a.m. Gears of War 2. 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Gears of War 2, and then Uncharted 2 on PS3. Both of those console exclusives. 11 to 1 is Battlefield Bad Company 2. 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday. 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Blur, and we'll be playing with Dan Amrick from Activision. He'll be 1 to 2 p.m. on Saturday afternoon, yes.
I met him at PAX.
What?
Oh, Dan is fantastic.
Why you Jesus Christ, Chris?
I just, that's the next day. I'm going to be rusty. I'm going to lose. I don't want to fucking lose. I'm
very
fucking good at Blur.
That's what the drugs are for.
I am good at Blur.
2 p.m. to 5 p.m. to close it out is another free-for-all. We'll play whatever the hell we feel like because we've been up for so long. So that, again, that's the schedule. GamesOrder.com/24hour. We will try to get as many people into as many games as we can, but I mean...
Oh, wait. I want to plug Michael's Scott Pilgrim article.
Yes.
All right.
If you can remember the headline.
Gate?
Scott Pilgrim's precious little video game references.
There will be a link on the TalkRadar 114 page.
That isn't really meant to come off like an asshole. I'm just referencing the title of the first book.
Oh ho!
And then I posted today a crossover games that need to happen that I really lost steam writing halfway through. So please bear with me. The last one.
He looks so uncomfortable.
The last one I wrote is literally Sly Cooper meets Uncharted. And I wrote a reason for it.
These are both dogs that are naughty and away.
No, I had a whole rationale for it. I think those two characters would work really well together. Boing.
All right, let's get out of here. Somebody give me a song.
Close taking us out is from F-Zero GX. It was featured in TalkRadar 20. The Captain Falcon song. Just fucking take us out. It's the Jesus God song about racing. It's so good.